Okay. Oh, hey, there we are. You guys, I'm sitting here doing this. You guys realize it takes me 3 computers to do this. And I've got 3 mice in front of me, and the one for the server is acting all crappy. Oh, sorry. Hey, I got volume up there. All right, gotta fix that. See, another computer I gotta turn on. All right. Dog's looking at me like, who are you talking to? Sorry. All right, let's see what time is it. 7:02. Wow, what a mess that was. Hi, everybody. Okay, well, yeah, obviously, this is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. My name is Stephen D. Kelley, and we are Truth Cat Radio. Hi, guys. I didn't do any advertising because I just got so distracted with this Trump stuff going on and what have you, and other things. But and I had a really good show. I mean, I had a really good title and all that, and I'm just so consumed with everything else. So now I'm pretty much going to have to just kind of go with what's going on, and it's not going to be. I keep thinking about the people complaining, he's incoherent, he's all over the place, blah blah. Oh my God, you guys have never heard me speak. Obviously, haven't heard me speak before, but first of all, it is May 23rd. Okay, and that means, let's see, today's the 23rd. Wow, that means in 5 days I have a birthday. Isn't that something? 5 days, people. 5 days, and I will have outlived my dad by 1 year officially. Cumpleaños. I will have cumpleañoed 61. I guess it is, right? Yeah. So, but so that's sort of significant. Anyway, there's so much going on right now. I can't help but talking about Trump, and there's so much confusion. I'm going to try not to reiterate myself too much, even though I know that there's just, oh my God. Well, there's current events. Even if I look at the current events, how can you not look at everything differently now? You know what we know. I mean, talking about with respect to Trump, everything makes a lot of sense now. But where do we start? Q. People were kind of bitching in my group because they're saying, oh, do you guys even decode Q? Do you even talk about Q, blah, blah, blah anymore? It's like, I don't see any Q. So yesterday I went and looked on the Q pub, whatever, the basic, Q board. And see, I mean, the last little drop he made was on the 12th, quite a few days ago, 10 days ago, something like that. It was of a meme of a stupid, green bomb coming down from the air with a frog's face on the front of it, smiling, and coming down on top of some guy saying, oh crap, or some stupid thing like that, like, oh, we're going to get you, boom coming, blah, blah, blah. Well, today, Trump comes out and he says that he's authorized Attorney General William Barr to declassify the FISA documents, and he's instructed the CIA to cooperate in releasing sensitive information that might be otherwise deemed classified. So it's like, oh, wow, swamp, yeah. Okay, first of all, who gives a damn about the FISA documents? Hello, it doesn't mean shit. Second of all, Barr is a crook. We already know Barr's a crook. Barr was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. It's all mafia. Okay, obviously Barr's mafia. I see this picture of Trump standing next to Barr now. I can't help it, people. All I see is mafia now. Okay, Trump doesn't look very good. His complexion and his bad hair and his being overweight. He looks like a bad mafia boss. But that's what he is. You'd have to be a mafia boss to have the vanity to wear your hair like that. Anyway. But the point is that, first of all, the CIA, remember the CIA were supposed to be the bad guys. So now all of a sudden they're supposed to be cooperating with him, blah, blah, blah. Well, of course, criminal organization, I've instructed the criminal organization to provide the proper criminal, documents to indict the criminals that I want to indict. a huge, huge farce. Anyway, and then we have the Iran thing. I'm not even going to get into that right now. Okay, Julian Assange, let's talk about him. The Department of Justice indicted Julian Assange today for espionage. Basically, what he's indicted for was cooperating, receiving information from Chelsea Manning. And of course, Chelsea Manning, whatever the hell his name was, even in the public, they refer to him as a she. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, a male soldier does not, take estrogen and call himself a she, and the whole world goes, oh, it's a she now. Y'all, okay. Anyway, Manning, Bradley, that's his name, Bradley. Bradley. So you like your name, Bradley? Bradley. Did they make fun of you when you were... Anyway, so I'll forgive Bradley. But Bradley had to do time for what he did, which was stealing military documents. Now, even though it's probably a righteous thing that he did time because, you're not supposed to steal military documents, but the thing is we know that those military documents exposed criminal activity. Incoming call. Oh, look at that. Let me see if I can... Oh. 716. Hey, who's this?
Oh, hi, this is Isabel. I was trying to, I was trying to listen to your show, but I couldn't get through.
Well, Isabel, welcome. Hey, do me a favor, okay? Tonight's going to be kind of a crazy night because normally I don't really take calls at the beginning of the show, and I'm just sort of...
I was just trying to listen.
Yeah, I want you here, okay? Come on now, I want you here. Yeah. Okay, okay, never mind. Sorry for the demonic laughter. Yeah, do me a favor. Are you using a phone or what?
I'm using a phone, yeah.
Okay, do you have a mute button on there? So you can listen.
I'll have to try to find it. Yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, do me a favor. Just try not to make too much noise while I do this because I have to kind of forget that there's people there when I start spewing.
Okay.
Anyway. All right, we're talking about Bradley Manning, not Chelsea, but Bradley. And poor old Julian Assange. Okay, go away. Shh. Okay, shush. Okay, wallflower. Okay, fly in the wall. All right, think wallflower. That's it. Okay, all right. We're Isabella in the house. Look at that. All right. Okay, guys. Back to oral. Okay, I'll tell you guys, when a lot of things you got to consider. When Julian Assange was dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy, it was done by British authorities, British secret types. And you have to remember, these secret types over there in Britain are the same Five Eyes, the same secret types that supposedly put out a hit on Donald Trump and all that fun stuff that are supposedly involved in the FISA documents and everything else, all this stuff that people are talking about. So, the word incestuous is going to come up quite a bit, but there's a little incestuous activity right there. Remember, it's real hard to tell who's the good guys. What they like to say, okay, you put the white hat on today, and tomorrow the other guy will put on the white hat. But however they do that, they think it's actually feasible. But so they dragged Julian Assange out, and they put him in a jail, and who knows where he is right now, but we know that the Department of Justice is indicting him for these espionage charges, which basically was because he worked with Manning to reveal the heinous things that the United States was doing in Afghanistan and Iraq, which and Abu Ghraib prison, et cetera, all those things, heinous crimes that need to be brought to light. But the military establishment and the mafia that runs our government that controls the military right now really wants to be able to continue to get away with these heinous acts. So they're very upset about that. So this is what they're going to charge Assange with. Now, nowhere in any of this is there any talk about the good things that Assange did and how he helped his country by revealing the secrets about Hillary and Podesta and all the rest of them. So you know where the priorities are. Now, so many of you I see, especially in my QAnon group, are looking at this and saying, well, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Yeah, it's so stupid. It sounds so stupid now. And then they go, well, they're gonna drop the hammer on him some other time. Okay. Hey, 503. Hi, 503. Oh, are you here, 503?
Hey, I'm 503.
Hi, 503. What's your name, 503?
My name's Jacob.
Hi, Jacob. All right, Jacob, do me a favor. Can you kind of hang tight and sort of like mute and just be the wallflower for a little bit?
Yeah, I got you.
Right on. Okay, we'll get back to you. Well, everybody will get to talk here a little bit. I just got to spew a little bit, okay? All right.
Cool.
Thanks. Anyway, people, back to Julian Assange. You know, there's a little bit of a double standard here because if Julian Assange committed this crime by accepting this information from Bradley Manning, even though it was breaking the law, which we have to respect, at the same time it was also divulging truth that we really all needed to hear. So somewhere along the line you got to decide, well, gosh, what do we do about that? Do we cut slack? The same thing sort of applies to Donald Trump when we say, well, you know, he might be a mob boss, and well, we kind of know he's a mob boss. Well, of course he's a mob boss, and you know, but he's not as bad as Hillary. That's kind of stuff. And we think, well, he's turned the other, you know, he's changed, and he's working for God now, and all these sort of things. And we want to believe all this stuff, but you've got to. I got a cat trying to walk across my keyboard. Sorry. Can't have that. I don't know what he's going to hang up on me. Go away. That's actually Mr. Kitten Truth Cat trying to do that. It's like I shouldn't stop him if he wants to walk on the keyboard. But anyway, sorry about that. It's one of those nights. The thing is, though, is that as Christians, especially, we all want to have compassion. We all want to try to, be Christ-like and all that good stuff. And I try to tell people that all the time, that we got to learn compassion, and we have to realize that these horrible, horrible people. The sound's not so good. I'll be fixed.
Yeah. Okay. Device changed. Yeah. Okay. I've got the right microphone now. Sorry about that. Is it better? Okay. Jeez,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, I got you.
I can't believe it. See how screwed up I am? I had the wrong microphone. Oh my god. At least we didn't go too far. Thank you, Cynthia. All right. See, where would I be without well, I should have an engineer doing this stuff for me, but oh well. Anyway, so the point is that we, oh, I got another caller. Hang on. It's going to be like this tonight. We're going to be talking about Julian Assange all night, probably off and on. Oh, okay. 504, are you here? Or 540?
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, we hear you. Hey, do me a favor. Could you try to mute or something, or just sort of be a wallflower for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just try to.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, just shush as much as you can, all right? Okay. All right, here we go. All right, first of all, we had a funny start because I didn't have the right microphone, and when we get a bunch of callers, we'll probably have a little background noise here and there, but it's no big deal because tonight is it's my birthday next week, and this is sort of like a birthday show if you want to be. This is sort of why I want you guys to join me, and because I'm trying to. I realized that, especially with the group, because I'm trying to reach out to the group so much, and if I do while I'm doing the show, hell, if I could just get you guys to listen and you can come in and say something, whatever you want to say, we can really kind of cover a lot of territory really quick. And then I won't have to make all these silly videos and memes and stuff like that. But, I can answer questions and stuff. Anyway, so back to Julian Assange here. We all know, as Trump people, everybody, we all agree that Hillary and Podesta and these people did these horrible, horrible things. And we all know that we would have never heard about it if it wasn't for Julian Assange and Seth Rich, God bless his soul. And, we all know that. We all know that. And we all want to see him taken care of. And yet at the same time, we're hoping and hoping and hoping that even though he's being indicted and even though he's being arrested and all that, that somehow this is supposedly a good thing. And as it becomes worse and worse for him, we keep trying to find excuses of why this is part of the plan. But I just want to remind you also about Edward Snowden, because no matter what you say about Edward Snowden, he revealed the fact with other people, but he did it in a little more public way, that the NSA spies on everything we say and has this incredibly pervasive computer network that enables them to just really infringe on our freedoms and our rights. And somehow that's supposed to be okay. But when Q says that Edward Snowden, that was my first my first clue that in my Q, there was something screwy going on with Q because I'm ex-NSA person, and I don't like those guys because they were horrible killers. But when they turned on Snowden like that, it really made them look like they were kind of bad guys. And here, we want to believe that Trump is a good guy. We want to forgive him if he's not a good guy, because we really need him on our team, right? We want him on our team. And I wanted Trump, when he came along, to help us rescue these children. And then when I heard that the soldiers were being trained after I started talking about it, I thought, great, he's on our side. He's working in that direction. But the thing is that it's been 3 years, and we're not hearing what we should be hearing, because if they did any of the things that I've been trying to get them to do, dramatic changes would be taking place in the world, and we wouldn't be hearing about FISA and stuff like that. So that's really depressing. But again, I think that, as a Q community, at the very least, I know Donald Trump listens to everything we say, and I think that we really need to stick up for Julian Assange a little bit better. I think that this indictment thing needs to be completely rejected. I don't think this is acceptable whatsoever. The level of evil and the level of dirt that goes around. I see, this is the thing. They're applying laws here, okay? And the problem with these laws is that they're not applied evenly. That's just becoming painfully obvious that they're not applied evenly. And talk is cheap. If someone says, well, we're going to reopen this and we're going to reopen that, but then the judge that's supposed to do the reopening gets killed, it kind of looks sort of like somebody's giving us the runaround. I wanted to talk also tonight about bankruptcy a little bit, because I think, this is all very, very complex stuff. But if you've ever studied, and I don't want to say the word finance, but we used to have these characters, we called them, I don't know, you could call them robber barons, I suppose, but Michael Milliken was one. I know you guys could come up with all kinds of names. There's quite a few of them out there. Some of them did time. But the thing is that if you look at what they did, they would come in with some really ridiculous funding, and they would take over a company. They would gain a large portion of shares of a company to the degree that they could pretty much ruin the company. And once they ruin the company, they a couple things they do. They buy up all the stock, and they take the company over. But there's so many different tricks in how you do this. Buying up the stock is one. Investing in the company is another. Over-investing in the company is one of the primary ways of doing it. And I used to do this a lot when I played video games. There was this one game in particular called Railroad Tycoon, and you could come in there, and if you knew how to manipulate the stock market and short sell and all that sort of thing, you could pretty much end up owning every single railroad if you played your cards right. And this is what these guys do. Now, when you've got $1 billion, you can do that. And one of the reasons why is because it's very, very easy to get other people to loan you the money to do this. Jesus talks about this in the Bible. Actually, all the apostles talk about it in the Bible. We may even go over those scriptures. But, hey, you know what? Diane, if you're here, do me a favor. Go ahead and look that up. It's what Jesus says about gambling. Jesus on gambling and Jesus on money. There's four scriptures in particular I'm looking for, but the one of them will basically, it tells us not to idolize people that chase money, and the other one is chastises people that use other people's money to gain money, which is what that is. So the point is, when you've got a lot of money and you can achieve a certain amount of confidence with people to use their money, then you can do things to basically cause that investment that they make to become worthless. And then when they cash out, because they always do, you buy it and you cash in. And the bankruptcy process is quite a bit like this. So I just have to tell you guys, all these years that the people made fun of Donald Trump for having these bankruptcies, you know, he's not an idiot. He knows exactly what he's doing. Taj Mahal is such a perfect example. When I don't really know what the relationship was between Merv Griffin and Donald Trump was. I did hear that Merv Griffin had Donald Trump beat up. I think what happened was when Resorts International left the hands of Crosby, that there was that power struggle between Donald Trump and Merv Griffin. So obviously Merv Griffin is certainly a mobster of sorts. But if you ask me, even though Merv Griffin eventually ended up with the corporation, the Resorts International, Donald Trump ended up with the flagship properties, which were incorporated into the rest of his portfolio. So at the time Donald Trump acquired the Taj Mahal, he already had 2 casinos in Atlantic City. Now, how many casinos do you need to launder billions and billions of dollars? It's, you know, guys, we've all seen The Godfather. I don't know how everybody can be in denial over this. How could a president own multiple casinos? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway. All right. Let me see. Where are we? It's just, okay, so back to the point. It's like, you know, I think everyone's starting to see what's going on here, you know, and I think you guys also realize if you looked at my video from wherever it was, whatever year, where I went on Press TV and told the Arab world to work with Donald Trump and give him a chance. And, you know, what happened? I got kicked off of Press TV, and I always blame that on the Mossad, and because I always kind of realize afterwards, sure, I know I pissed off the mullahs and the Shias and whoever it was, because I'm sure they didn't like me quoting Khomeini on the air. That probably pissed them off, using their own words against him, like "Great Satan." I'm sure they didn't like that. But either way, I just listened to that little interview tonight. And it was relatively powerful for your basic ad lib TV interview. And the words today still ring incredibly true. And at the same time, when I look at that interview and I listen to what I said all those years ago, and this was the day that Donald Trump was getting inaugurated. That's when I did this broadcast. I can't believe that these people now are calling me a liberal and all this bullshit just because I happen to realize that the same mafia I worked for was the one that Donald Trump is probably running right now. It's a little bit of disappointment, you know? So what am I supposed to do? We want to all go back to where we were. I mean, I'd love to put my rose-colored glasses on, and I'd like Donald Trump to go back to being the guy that I thought was going to rescue the children. But here's something that also bothered me about all that rescuing the children business. And you people, and if anybody of you have been listening to me for years and years and years, you know what I'm talking about. And that is, whoever goes down there and takes over the Getty, under the Getty, is going to have the throne, because that is exactly what that is. It's not just a big giant pedophile palace. It's a palace. And it is a palace for the queen, or whoever is the ruler of it all. And if you read the Magna Carta, you will know that all the little players all answer to one entity, which is the crown. Okay? Now, ultimately, yeah, sure, it goes up to Satan and what have you after that. But as far as humans go, the crown is the final authority here on Earth. It's been like that since, I think, 300 AD. Pretty sure, something like that. We go back and look. Could be 1300. I don't know. Whenever they killed King John, might have even been 1000. Not important. You could look that up. But I always was worried that if Donald Trump really did get down there, it's like, I thought, wow, do we really want that kind of a guy with that kind of power? especially since he's all ready to start bombing and destroying and promising swift executions and all that crap. That doesn't sound like somebody I want to hand all the power to. Who wants a king that's going to say, swift executions? Fuck that. Seriously, people, we can't be cutting heads off. I mean, if they want to fight us and they end up getting killed in the process of fighting us, that's one thing. But if they give up and they confess, we're not going to kill them, okay? We're not going to execute them. I don't care. Even if Hillary ate the face off a baby, we're not going to torture her and we're not going to execute her. We may put her in solitary confinement for the rest of her life, and we may look at her like she's shit all the time and never give her any. But at the same time, we're not going to go to heaven if we don't learn how to treat fellow humans like humans and learn how to have compassion. And that's just the bottom line. So you got to think twice about somebody that says swift executions, especially when he lives in a glass house. Oh my God. How many people has he been ordered to hit on? I mean, a mob boss. Come on. I'm sure there's people below him that do that, but ultimately, you're the chief of the corporation. You're responsible for the actions of all your little officers, etc., underneath you. So come on, people. We all know how the mafia operates. I mean, you don't think in the last few days, when I'm sitting here telling the mafia, come on, get me, come on, get me, come on, you boys, you all pussies, here's my address, come and get me, let's play. Every day I'm sitting here waiting. They're not out there. Now, you all seen the movies, right? You've seen the movies. You know what the mafia does to people. I know very well what the mafia does to people. I know how they can torture you and all the things they can do and the heinous stuff they do. I mean, come on. It's all around us, especially here where I live. I mean, cartels and what have you. So anyway, it's all the same thing, but at the same time, it's just magic because nobody's doing anything about it. Now, think about that for a second. Here I am for a good 20 years now, been going after these killers, these horrible, horrible, bad people with all this power. And bit by bit, step by step, I'm realizing no matter what I do, they can't do anything. So I'm constantly stepping it up. How much more can I step it up? Basically, I've taken on the entire damn mafia Illuminati, every single killer organization there is out there. At least once I've challenged everybody from Kraft International to the FBI, the Mossad, CIA, NSA, you name it. Now the mafia. Add the mafia to the list. Okay, mafia, which is all the same thing. So, guys, don't you think sooner or later, if they could do something they weren't, they would? And people, I've still got people saying, well, police are going to come in there and they're going to roll in here and they're going to pick you up in the middle of the night and they're going to take you in, whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, then what? They're going to have a secret trial somewhere? Nobody's going to hear anything I say? They're going to torture me? Okay, great. Then what? Nobody's here on, they don't think somebody's going to notice? Sure, you guys will notice. I don't think, if I just disappear, obviously, my message is just going to become gold, and it's already becoming gold, and it's every day that goes by, there's even less chance they're going to touch me. But the point is that they can't, and it's for more reasons than just because they're afraid and all that. And the point is don't you guys think that, put yourself in my position. If they couldn't kill you, what would you do? What would you do? Would you fight them until they're gone? What would you do? Would you sit there? Would you do nothing? Would you not wear your seatbelt? What would you do? I'm not going to go rob a store, but the point is that it doesn't matter. I can go all the way with this, people. That's the thing. I can go all the way with this. Now, no one else can do that. Not even Donald Trump, because even Donald Trump has got people over him. He's got secrets. What secrets do I have? There's no secret that they can pull out that isn't going to help me. So, and I'm not a pedophile. That's probably a big one. I certainly don't have my hands all over my daughters like he does, unfortunately. I got to tell you guys, listen to this. before anyone says anything about that, well, it's normal for him to have his hands over his daughter like that. I had a father-in-law who worked for the district attorney's office, and before he got into that high position, he also worked for in a few other different departments. One of them was Vice, and in Vice, they're constantly busting people for molesting children and what have you. Now, he didn't like me, okay? So do you think, you know what that means? That means I was deprived for all those years of being able to touch my children in the way that people would think, oh, well, that's just normal, because I had to worry about some asshole trying to cause problems, okay? So that's my opinion about that whole fondling your children crap, especially when they're wearing sheer silk dresses with no bra on. I mean, come on, Donald. You taking your little girl into a casino wearing a sheer dress with no bra? I mean, come on. The first daughter is seen in public with her nipples showing through a seared seat. There's pictures on the internet that perfectly show her nipples. I mean, come on, people. Don't you think that's a little weird that the first lady's, naked body can be found easily, and you can look at his daughter's nipples? I mean, like nothing? Come on. Isn't that just a little weird? What happened to our country? How did that become okay? Oh, but they're beautiful. Wow. Anyway, things have changed. I just don't get it. Anyway, well, you know what I want to do? I want to sit here. Let me see how many people I got here. I only got a couple of people. I think I lost a couple of people. Who left? Who left us? Who's here? Hello. Wildflowers. Activate wildflower mode.
Hello.
Okay, that's Isabel, is it?
Yeah.
Hi. And who else we got here?
I want to say happy early birthday to you.
Thank you. Yeah. I know,
and
huh?
Can I say something else?
Go ahead.
I know exactly why the mafia can't touch you.
Why?
They won't touch you because you look just like a faggot.
Because of what now? Because I what? Oh, well, is that best you could do? Come on. That's funny. Oh, let me see. Was that Isabel?
This is Isabel.
Oh, that's Isabel. Okay, who's that other one? I forgot her name. She was some other. Boy, that's the best you could do. And then she hung up. Oh my God, that's weak. This is the sort of people that support Trump. It's pretty sad, huh? And I wonder why I call him stupid. Wow, that was weak. Hey, and she sat there the whole time listening to me before she got squeezed that little bit out. Oh my God. Hi, Isabel. How's it going?
Oh, good.
What'd you think of that little bit of silliness?
I didn't really understand. I didn't really hear too much because I couldn't hear.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of intelligible, but, it's kind of like when they speak, they don't make a whole lot of sense anyway, so you didn't miss anything. I really don't know. Something about, so she goes, well, I think I know why the mafia can't kill you is because they make you look like a faggot. But I'm like, oh, okay, is that supposed to be mean something? Wow. Do you think she had to have that sentence going around in her head for a few times before she got that out? Oh my God. I'm not sure if that was a sentence she had planned or if she bumbled it up while she was saying it or what, but I'll bet you she was sort of scared. I think she was scared. She sure hung up quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't. Huh? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just wondering. Do you think that with Trump, do you think that something changed during his time in the White House, or do you think there was always the plan to be the way he is now?
Yeah. That's a really tough call. And, the thing is a lot of people say this. I'm all metaphysical and woo-woo and everything else, but when people say that they cloned him, it's not the same man and all this stuff, I don't think so. This is what I think happened. I think that he's just a really good salesman, and he said all the things we wanted to hear, and there's a lot of red flags. one of the biggest red flags of all was the way the GOP acted like he was a big enemy, and then now that he's in there, they're just completely looking at his boots, which is really weird because it's like you almost think it's like, wow, was he really super GOP? Because when we elected him, he kind of came off as an outsider because we all knew the GOP was corrupt, right? With McCain and Lindsey Graham. Right. We knew they were involved in all this ISIS stuff and everything else. And, we knew also that the only one in the GOP that was any good was maybe Rand Paul, right? Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, and a couple, Dennis Kucinich, right? Maybe him. I can't think of anyone else, maybe a couple of people. The Trump dangling in the cherries in front of, oh my God. Oh, okay, don't be. I'm sorry. Somebody was trying to talk to me, and I was distracted. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Where were we?
It's just interesting to me that the press seemed to be so against him, and then that kind of made me think that he was anti-establishment, but maybe that's...
Yeah, they really fooled us. Okay, this is what I think. Yes. It's, the more I look at it, the more it seems to be competing factions of different mafias, because we know, okay, like with CIA stuff and all that, I always knew that there were different factions in the CIA, just like I knew there were different factions inside of these mobs, because the Templars, the guys at the Getty, they supposedly had a couple different factions, and they supposedly fight against each other. So it's really difficult to tell who's who. Oh, we got another caller. Let me see who's this. Hang on. But the thing is, like, today someone said, who's worse? Hello. They wanted to know if it was Hillary or Trump is worse. And I know that's an easy question. Obviously, Hillary's got to be worse. I mean, when it comes to as a human, I think Hillary is way worse. She's like just pure evil, horrible. I don't really see Trump as somebody that would eat a baby. He might murder somebody or steal their money, but I don't think he's a baby eater. He may even have sex with a child, but I don't think he would murder and eat that child. Now Hillary would, so that makes her really, really bad. But at the same, right?
Yeah, I just think it's sad that that's what one would eat a baby and one wouldn't, and that's what you're choosing for president.
Exactly. Well, when I was on TV, they'd ask me, what's the difference between Hillary and Trump? And I'd say, well, one's an arrogant billionaire, and the other one is a cannibal pedophile. It's like, well, how do I guess I'm going to pick the arrogant billionaire. But, exactly. Now we find out he's a mobster. Oh crap! Right? Like we didn't know. Come on, it's like come on, like we didn't know what New York is like and how oh, okay, you're going to own casinos in Jersey. Oh, who owns casinos in Jersey? We're not all stupid. Jeez, God. Anyway.
Yeah, when you look at the gold Trump towers, those are,
it's a little clue. It's a clue. Yeah, but what really got me, especially yesterday, I pulled up those Bible verses of the rich man going through the gates of heaven thing. And a lot of people like to misinterpret that. But if you look at the actual verse, there's actually three parts. There's three sentences. And they only like to use the sentence in the middle. They don't like to use the one at the end or the beginning for that matter. But when Jesus says it's easier for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the gates of heaven, he was like being exasperated. He says, look, I'm tired of telling you. Come on, I'll tell you one more time. It's not going to happen. That was like, skip everything before that. And then this is the funny part. At the end, this is the part that comes after. The disciples, when they're hearing this from him, they go, and I don't know if the exact words, I'm going to paraphrase, but they go, Lord, if that's true, what are we going to do? What do we do? And and I heard that, and I thought, oh my God, shake my head, OMG, SMH, right? I mean, I'm like, where have I heard that before? You know, where have I heard? It's like, hello, Q people. If he turned, the rich man's not going to go to heaven. It's like, oh no, we can't depend on the rich man to save us. What are we going to do now? It's like, oh gosh, let me see. What would Jesus say about that? So here we go again, right? Anyway.
Right.
But that's just, anyway. Hey, Diane, are you still here? Or did I lose you? No. My God, I can't believe that woman to call it. I'll tell you, I've had, what these people don't realize is that I've been in the radio business for a little over 4 years, I think now. And I had it wasn't just my show. I had all these other shows. And I had this one woman, gosh, I'm not going to say her name, but she was all about chemtrails. And oh my God, she had like 1,000 trolls on her butt every day. And they would call in and do, stupid stuff. And we even had other competitor radio stations calling in and harassing us. It was crazy. So some silly woman saying faggot, we could say that. I apologize to my gay friends and all that if you're out there, but, that doesn't really bother me. Oh, gosh. Let me see who's out there. Oh, look, we got some people out there. Hey, we got Thailand in the house. Yo, Thailand. Wow, cool. Australia, greetings. Okay, let me just go down the list here. First of all, United Kingdom, I assume that's you, Tony. Hey, Tony, call in if you can, okay? Skype us. Ottawa, if that's you, Sam, dude, I'm in Facebook jail, man. I can't talk to you on Facebook. You need to call me, okay? So call into the show. Don't say, I was going to call in the show. No, just call in, okay? God, everybody's wondering, where's Sam? Where's Sam? Get your butt in here, dude. Diane, I see Huddlestown, PA. I don't think that's you. Cypress, Texas. Hi, Cynthia. Thailand, I'm tripping, Thailand. I wish I knew who you were. Hey, RD, hola. RD, obviously you got to get your butt in here, man. We got to talk. Who we got here? Willowdale, Ontario. New Milford, Connecticut. Greetings. Oh, yeah, you got a call too. Oh, but I don't want to hear any BS. All right. Jonesboro, Georgia. Riverview, Florida. Hey, Riverview, Florida. Dude, why don't you call in? Can you? Try. Encinitas, greetings, Encinitas. Hi. Let's see. Hawaii, obviously. Aloha. Hi. Oceanside. Let me see. What should I say to Oceanside tonight? How many? Are there more than one Oceanside listener listening to me? Greetings, Oceanside. How you guys doing? Hey, you want to call in? You might as well. Let's have a party. Come on, you guys, call in. Oh, here goes one. This is Diane, probably. Let's see if we can get her in here. Is it one of my haters or is it Diane?
It's Diane.
Okay, you're not a hater, are you? You're not going to say faggot. Sorry.
Well, no, that's not really necessary. I mean, to say things like that.
Hey, Diane, I know you're going through withdrawals because you haven't been on the air in I don't know, at least 3 weeks. What have you been saying?
No, I'm normal.
Yeah, okay. You're normal. Hey, Diane, come on. You've been holding...
I can answer your question.
Okay.
Okay. For the love of money is the root of all evil, and there's many sorrows. It's not from faith. No man can serve two masters, for either he'll hate one or love the other. Let him steal no more, but let him labor. And so he may give to him who needs. And you're not supposed to take advantage of people through gambling. It's a trick to make money, which, if anybody knows anything about gambling, it's, 200%?
Yeah, the house.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why would anybody who cares about people do something that's going to take advantage of so many people when you're already a billionaire?
Okay. All right, let me do this for you here real quick because I got it here in front of me. Okay. All right. Mark 36. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Hebrews 13:5. Keep your life free from love of money and be content with what you have, for he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Ecclesiastes 5:10. He who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves abundance with its income. This too is vanity. Luke 12:15. And he said to them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses. That means don't be going around thinking that billionaire is all cool because you wish you had his stuff.
Right.
Yeah, well, you got the trophy wife and the golden toilet. Everybody goes, well, I wish I had a golden wife and a golden trophy wife and a golden toilet. trophy toilet, a golden wife. Take your pick.
Well, like there's trustworthiness associated.
Okay, well, here's a good one. Here, you'll love this one, Diane. I love it when Christ talks, okay, because that's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing I care about is when it's Christ talking, okay? But anyway, Christ says in Matthew 6:21, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. For those who engage in this traffic, money is the mutilator. Money is the mutilator, huh? Or is that okay? He's in the parable. Jesus told the rich farmer.
Completely true.
All right.
It goes against the goodwill towards man.
Well, you know what else he condemns? He also
Right.
condemns the man that buries the coin. Remember, he gives the talents out, and then one man does one, and the one guy takes it and buries it. He says, "What the hell did you bury it for?" In other words, you're giving someone energy, and instead of spreading the energy, you're hoarding it and putting it in the ground like some damn squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what these banks do and what have you. They're hoarding that energy, and they're not sharing. It's like the Queen of England with all that gold sitting in some vault. How in the hell is that serving the world? It's not.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was like, you got the right idea.
All right, here's one. Oh, that's Corinthians, where the parable of the master giving the servant the talents. That's Corinthians. I don't know if you guys don't need me to read that, but it says clearly right here, and this has to do with gambling. But to gamble with money that is not your own, to waste time that is not your own, makes one nothing less than a thief in God's sight. God adds that thieves will not go to heaven. Corinthians 6:9-10. Period. Truly, I tell you, it is hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. When his disciples heard this, they were greatly astonished and asked, who then can be saved? Ugh.
And it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.
Well, anyway, yesterday, Facebook actually said this post goes against our community standards. No one else can see it. Can you believe that? That parable, that whole thing with the easier for a camel to pass through an eye of the needle was deemed against community standards by Facebook yesterday. Can you believe that?
They have a problem.
I think someone that's maybe very rich has a problem.
Well, they're going to be sorry if they don't repent.
All right, look, Diane, this is the message here. The message here is it's kind of simple. I've been catching a lot of flack since Donald Trump has been in office. My petition that was running when he was in office was shut down by Trump. I've been in Facebook several times since Trump has been in office. Are we going to blame Mark Zuckerberg for that? Because, Trump's supposed to be in charge right now, and yet these bad guys are still running around almost like they're working in concert with Donald Trump as opposed to fighting him. Even Twitter.
You have to worry about what you do and not what other people do.
Really? Do you see me worrying? I don't know what that's supposed to even mean.
It doesn't matter what other people do. That's their responsibility to live a godly life.
Okay, so I really don't know what you're saying, but I don't care because
If they're not living a godly life,
don't raise your voice to me.
if they're not living a godly life, that's their problem.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But if they're a criminal, and I'm fighting criminals, that's my problem. That's also their problem. See, I don't ignore them because I'm just not about judging. Somebody said something to me again, and I'm going to repeat myself. Maybe you didn't hear this at the beginning of the show, but they asked me, who's worse, Trump or Clinton? And I said, well, by human standards, obviously Hillary Clinton's worse, but that is an example of where we need to develop compassion, because if you want to love one and hate the other, you're going to have to treat them both equally. You're going to have to have equal amounts of compassion. That's the only real lesson. So this is really a bonus. Having everybody's hero turn out to be a heinous criminal is going to be a hard way for everybody to learn that we have to have compassion even for the most heinous criminals. We don't have to let them get away with it. But Trump is a perfect example of how we need to deal with Trump, because he is a criminal. He's done some horrible things. We don't have to judge it. It's not our job, but we need to stop him from doing those horrible things. And if you think that from his powerful position that he is able to do good, well, that may be so, but the good that he's doing is made to mask the evil that he's done and continues to do. And that's the problem, because if he never confesses to the world what he's done and steps down, because he certainly cannot be in that position being a mob boss, because certainly we can't have someone that's responsible for so much criminal activity being responsible for our country and our national secrets. But this is the thing. This is why I'm so frustrated. And this has nothing to do with judging these people, because it doesn't matter. They have to stop. And if you call putting a light on them judging, no, we're putting a light on them. We're putting a very harsh light on them. Now, I've been putting a very harsh light on the Getty, and only recently I turned that harsh light on Gordon Getty, and look at what happened. He's crumbled in probably less than a year because I put that harsh light on him. Well, now that harsh light is on Donald Trump. And people don't think that this is just, it is a spontaneous thing, because I found out that he's involved with the Vesco crime syndicate, the same one I was involved in. That makes it personal for me. But the thing is, though, is that once Gordon Getty became a casualty or a bleeding, mortally wounded, which is what he is right now, it was time for me to turn my sights on the next target. In this case, the next target is the most powerful person in the syndicate, which of course is Donald Trump. Now, if Donald Trump had done everything that we wanted, if he had raided the undergrounds and raided the Getty and brought up the children and brought up the money and brought up the technology and fixed Fukushima and all these things that he could have done with the power that he has, then he'd be a saint. But instead, what do we get? We get bullshit Q crap talking about FISA. We get more bullshit Israeli Mossad war rhetoric against Iran. We get hateful rhetoric against Muslims and Mexicans and what have you. And it's all the same. And all he talks about is business and the economy. But you'll never hear him once ever mention non-discretionary funding. When he says our economy is doing good, he doesn't mention non-discretionary funding, people. I'm pretty sure that everybody listening, and I know obviously Oceanside, what I'm talking about, but how can you even run a government? How can you even be fair and honest with people if you don't even mention the huge amount of money that our government spends that we have absolutely no control over, that they never talk about? And the fact that it all goes to pharmaceuticals. Now, I'll tell you something. One of the biggest things that really pissed me off about all of this stuff with Donald Trump and the Vesco crime syndicate is what they did to Howard Hughes. Now, some people want to say, well, Hughes is a mobster too. I personally don't believe that. I think he was just a really talented engineer businessman. I'm more inclined to believe that. I don't think he had time to be a mobster. He was too busy building airplanes and making movies. But the thing is that when Richard Nixon pretty much cooperated with the mob to have him killed and confiscate his assets, our entire medical industry in the United States, the entire AMA, the entire system went to become a horribly price gouging for-profit industry. It wasn't like that before. I don't know if you guys, I don't know why nobody remembers that. But before Nixon, it wasn't like it is today. So we all know Nixon was a criminal. I am not a crook. Come on. We all know he was a crook. We all know he was at the Bohemian Grove. He says, well, it was really a faggy place. It was really faggiest thing he'd ever seen, but he was still there. Just because he didn't really like all the gay stuff going on doesn't mean he wasn't still there for a reason. He was still one of them.
It might have been a shock when he went there. He really probably didn't even think what he was going to see was what he saw.
I think he'd only been there once.
Well, when...
they go there every year, right?
No, but have you ever gone somewhere and then when you got there, it wasn't what you expected and you just wanted to leave?
Oh, that's when you leave. That's when you expose it. Come on, seriously. He was a criminal, okay? He went to a criminal organization where they were doing gay stuff that he didn't like. He was still a criminal at a criminal organization.
Right. But people are weak and some people are just
Why are you trying to defend? Why are you trying to defend him? What's your
not
point?
defending.
You're playing devil's advocate for no reason. I don't have any answers for that right now. You realize? Okay, let me switch the picture around here. Okay, I'm talking about Hitler.
Wait, Donald Trump. Maybe he can't do what you want him to do. Maybe he wants.
Maybe it's because he's a pedophile mob boss and he's responsible for all the crime that he's supposedly pretending to fight. Don't you realize this? All right, just listen to me for a second. Get a clue. When it became obvious to me that Roger Stone was trying to destroy me, and it became obvious to me that Roger Stone works directly for Donald Trump, you don't got to be really smart to figure out that Donald Trump was the one that was just trying to destroy me. It's not like he's some little boy that has been coerced by some bullies into doing these things. He is the bully. This is what you guys don't get. Just because he's blonde, has bad hair, and he has blue eyes, he's got a nice family, doesn't mean he isn't like a horrible person. If he had maybe, is Italian and had black slimy hair and a big scar on his face, maybe your brains would be able to process what he really is. But that's what he is. Okay? He's Scarface. He's the Godfather. He's very, very dirty, evil person. And we're like all sitting here trying to go, but he did donate that money, but he did help that lady across the street. He did save that cat that was up in that tree. Do you guys realize that when Hitler was running and became in power, that they did the same thing for him? Do you know who is responsible for making him look good? A guy named Joseph Goebbels. Now, I was put in Facebook jail for posting a picture of Joseph Goebbels quoting a famous quote where he says, "Accuse your enemy of that which you are guilty." That sounds sort of familiar with what we're getting out of the Trump presidency. Now, you got to remember, Joseph Goebbels did one thing for Hitler, and that was control his media presence. Back in those days, it was movies. Today, it's TV and the internet. Well, guess what Roger Stone is? Roger Stone is Goebbels for Nixon as well as Donald Trump. And this is why he was trying to destroy us, because behind the scenes, he controls half this Q stuff, and we're not going along with it. So it's a huge, huge conspiracy, and they're all damn guilty. And there's no...
Well, you're doing like really well on Twitter, isn't that true?
Don't you understand that I'm the only thing between those people and a firing squad? Do you understand that? Do you know what I'm talking about here? All these people that you're trying to talk nice about, Donald Trump, Roger Stone, all these people, do you understand that if I was the Antichrist, that they'd all be getting their heads cut off after the, being drawn and quartered or some horrible mutilating thing? That's what they deserve. Okay? But that's not what Christ is going to do. Christ is going to spare them, but he's also going to sweep the floor clean. Do you understand? And there's not going to be a whole lot of judgment, and there's not going to be any emotion. And it's going to be 100%, and it's going to be comprehensive, and it's going to be done with compassion, but nobody's going to get special treatment, including Donald Trump. Okay? Am I clear on that?
Yes. Okay.
All right. So let's not defend.
Now, the Facebook, you're always in trouble with Facebook, but aren't you doing really well with Twitter?
Well, the only reason I'm doing well with Twitter is because I'm using Twitter to get around Facebook.
But you have so many good things on Twitter.
It's because everything I put on Twitter is going onto Facebook. It goes on Twitter first, then Facebook.
But you're sharing so much.
I know, but don't you understand? Everything you see on Twitter, it goes there about a second before I put it up on Facebook. Okay.
Well, you were in Facebook jail until just recently, weren't you?
I am still in Facebook jail. I don't get out for a couple of days, at least.
Well, the thing is once you get out, you get back in jail. It's like you're always in jail.
Yeah, you're right. It's like they don't like me. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to get me back in Facebook jail again really quick, but I got a few things that I'm going to be doing. The moment I get out of Facebook jail, I'm going to be making some changes in the group, adding some new moderators, setting myself up to be in a better position so next time they do this to me, it'll have even less effect. Because, here I am. I'm causing huge bonfires in the world right now, and I'm not even on Facebook. So when I intend to stoke those fires pretty heavily when I get back into Facebook. I'm going to share something with you guys right now. But I'm not going to go into any heavy detail. But there's going to be an operation that's going to go down this weekend. Okay? Do. Hopefully I'll have some nice pictures for you here real soon.
On Twitter, is that where we find the best things?
The best things for what? What are you talking about?
For you to look you up on Twitter, right?
No.
Or QAnon?
Try Google.
On Facebook, QAnon?
Everywhere. Well, you could go to QAnon. You could go. Yeah, that's probably the best place to go. Go to Twitter. Obviously, you should be on my Twitter. My gosh, everybody should go on my Twitter page, probably for sure. You know what? I'm wondering right now, where the heck is Brian and RD? Let me see where they are. See if they're out there. I just realized it's just you and Isabel. Hi, Isabel. You still here? Deep.
Yes.
How you doing? Cynthia's here. Do. Hi, Chicago. Are you even listening? Jeez, probably. RD, I see you. I'm going to bring you in, RD. Oh, I can't do it like that. Darn it. RD's probably going to say, my internet's not working. I got to tell you guys, poor RD, I've been, using his Facebook, and oh boy, the people have been picking on him. That's why I got to get him in here so he can tell us all about the experience. He's been really harassed. Let's see if I can, where is it? Sorry, bear with me. He's probably hiding right now. Oh, there he is. He's calling me, huh? See, trying to beat me to the punch. Okay, RUD, are you here? Says missed call. Jeez. He'll probably try to call me again here. Hang on if I can do it properly. Add. There we go. I got it. I don't like pushing all these buttons, people. Oh, there he is.
Am I here?
That you? Is this you or that Stephen D. Kelley guy?
I'm trying to get my palm unstuck from my forehead.
Yeah. Oh my God, people.
You, you know, that little tip you posted, Facebook security and hit block. Do you know how many names came up right off the bat?
Quite a few, probably.
About 29 or 30.
Wow.
And few of them were those people you were trying to get the mods to get out of the room. So what is that? Is that people with Facebook?
No, that's just let you know who's complained to Facebook, so you can block them. Make sure they don't see your stuff.
Oh, so it would be people that complained to me personally.
I don't think they actually work for Facebook. Or this is the deal. This is the problem: is that your Facebook account is public. You need to fix that. You need to make it so that only people that see your stuff are your friends. You don't need all these losers being able. I mean, the first thing you do is you go into your settings.
Yeah, I thought I did that. I'll go back and check it again.
You got to make sure that weirdos can't just comment on your stuff. You don't even want them to see your page. I don't want anybody to see who my friends are. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. I found out I have almost 5,000 people following me right now. I've got like 4,700 something people following me, on top of the whatever it is, close to 5,000 people that are friends. So they only give you 5,000 of each. So wow, I'm ready to hit the magic 10,000 here pretty quick. How about?
I'll go in, and I thought I had that fixed. I'm only really there for one reason. I spend most of my time on either YouTube, the browser, or Twitter. You remember why that page was even there, but that one had to kind of crack me up a little. I'm thinking,
it certainly served a purpose, right?
How are they there and they don't know who they're talking to?
That's the thing. They all just came in, and obviously, because I'm in Facebook jail, I mean, they know this. This is why
I think it was a concerted attack. I think it was a plan.
This is Roger Stone again, is what I think.
Yeah, you can, those people that can do that. You're looking at a generation of people who grew up on role-playing gaming. They're a dime a dozen. They're not hard to find, and they probably work cheap. You can hire an army of them for nothing practically, and that they just get their jaws off doing it.
Yeah, and if they're like cult followers, they'll do it for even less.
Well, with the amount of damage that 0 Hour One did to the Patriots on the soapbox, I'm wondering if some of them, because they used to do that too. I had a personal experience with them. They'd send their little trolls after me.
Well, you weren't protecting yourself properly, dude. Remember what's her face in the chemtrail show? All the trolls that were on her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she had it bad.
Oh, it's motivated by. I mean, all right. Let's see, we're coming up on pretty close to 2 years that I've actually with the radio show, but longer as far as what you do. But to me, it's interesting when you start hitting a particular nail on the head, what happens afterwards. I mean, immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true.
And that's consistent. I mean, I'd love to hear what Ollie Demograd have to say about FS right now.
FS.
FF.
Oh, right. Yeah, Ollie Demogard. Yeah, good old Ollie. I don't know if he listens to my show, but I should reach out to him. He's always getting in trouble every time he goes on the air. It seems like they're putting him in. Let me see. I know what it was. He was on the air with in New Zealand after the attack in New Zealand with that silly, foolish New Zealand guy that's on American Freedom Radio. Anyway, that guy got kicked off the. Well, you can't say these things in New Zealand. It's not like the United States. So yeah, the UK has certainly got quite a bit of.
Oh yeah, a lot of censoring going on there, but it's interesting. I'm doing this kind of long perspective since I've been watching you, and it's really rolling. I mean, I'm still kind of amazed. You got a closed group, you got to join it, and they tell you, look, read this first. This is what it's about. Okay, it's not your flock. move on. That's what, and when they do that, like they do that, it's somebody's effort. I mean, what was it, about a year ago? Has it been a year since the Kai and then when
I don't think it's been that long. I don't think. I mean, it's
6-8 months.
Seems like it's been a while, huh?
6-8 months. They took your server down.
Yeah. Let me see. What was that? Like, we only had like 6,000 members, I think, back then, or something like that. Wasn't that big? Or no, it was like 12,000. Maybe that was when we hit 20,000. Maybe, huh?
I don't know. I'm living half in and out of the body all the time, so my big effort is finding my feet, so to speak, staying down here.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember I think I figured out the meaning of that damn word outpouring I kept getting. I think that's what looks like's happening. It's leaking out everywhere.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, again, it's a painful thing. People think I get some jollies off of pointing out that this person we thought was going to help us is actually our enemy. That doesn't make me happy at all. I thought he was, I thought we had some help in this battle. And it's like, really? I got even more enemies to deal with now? Oh, great.
When you brought up the mafia word, my mom was Italian, and from about 5 to 10 years old, we lived close to her family. So a lot of influence there. But I remember the first time I used the word, I heard this word, what did it mean? That's not, a good word. You don't go around talking about that. But talking with cousins and older cousins, the short version is mafia is kind of like this umbrella of secret societies. You're going to end up back to the Vatican, the Jesuits. I mean, this is all generalization.
Totally.
But that's the message I'm left with, that when they say that, they're not talking about, this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
The real mafia was
Templars.
Well, yeah, that's where you're going to end up. Well, who did the Templars become?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're signers on the Magna Carta. Hello. Who sits on the throne? The Queen.
You still get to the crown.
Yep.
That's what. And the funny thing is that the crown never gave up control of the colonies.
Nope.
I mean,
sure as hell control the money.
Which reminded me of something, because we're USA Inc. ever since 1868 or 88, depending on. But at least what you're doing is constitutional.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's, when you first read into the Constitution, I wish I'd looked it up. It's not too far into it, and the interpretation is those who have the ability to act have the responsibility to act. Okay, and so you're at least being constitutional about it. You have the ability to act, and you're taking the responsibility. Now, as far as Trump goes, yeah, we dodged a big bullet. It was the lesser of two evils. It's always the lesser of two evils. My dad taught me that a long time ago. Nobody in the Millionaires Club is not dirty.
Mm.
You don't get there dirty or clean. And if you are, you get pretty dirty pretty quick, or you get everything stolen from you and your patents taken and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, like Howard Hughes.
Yeah, you don't get up there if you're not you're not in the club or one of those clubs. And, I'm still trying to focus on, you're trying to get to the top of the pyramid, that capstone. And what we're talking about here are a whole lot of puppets and puppeteers and middlemen. And, by and large, the majority of them, we're just going to have to lock them up, and they might get a chance to rehab. But there are those that just need to be tucked away quietly and humanely and said bye-bye.
Oh, we're not going to gas anybody, but
no.
It all depends on if they fight back.
No,
that's what it really depends on.
Yeah, no, like you said, neutralize them by getting them out of the, for their own safety. Gitmo, I don't care, Diego Garcia, you give them a place to live it out. There are those that's going to have to happen. But I'll tell you what, something better start happening before 2020, or he's not going to pull much off. Because there's a lot of people expecting at least jail time.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. You're right. The mob is getting a little antsy right now, and the last thing that Donald Trump needs is for the mob to get wind of just how dirty he is, because they might go after his head too.
I got a deja vu here while you're talking about that. You know, back when Trump having to take Pence or pick Pence, do you get any deja vu with JFK getting stuck with LBJ?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not just me, right? I'm sitting there going,
It's come on. It's like Richard Nixon and Spiro Agnew. Come on.
Yeah. I'm sitting there kind of going, oh, really?
Or Reagan and Bush.
Oh, Lord.
There's a good one right there.
Oh, but I still have doubts because I really think he ought to lose him before he tries again, but I don't know.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this real quick, and then we're going to take a break. Hey, listen, everybody that's listening, I know you're new here and all that, but we're going to take a break, and we're going to take a relatively quick break. Sometimes it's like 10 minutes, but tonight let's make it only about 5 minutes, and hopefully some more people will call. But I just want to say this really quick, if I can remember this. But, you know, I offered Gordon Getty a deal, and I'll offer Donald Trump a deal, and it's going to have to start with him actually talking to me. Okay, Donald? So if you don't like what I'm doing, if all you people don't like what I'm doing, I recommend you have Mr. Trump talk to me, because otherwise he's going to have to convince me, mob boss style, if he thinks he can, to lay off one way or the other. I recommend he comes clean, but I'll tell you what, Trump, you set up a little private meeting. We'll have a little private meeting. You tell me, you give me an explanation for all these questions I got, and then we'll decide where to go from there. I think that's pretty darn fair. And I'll say that right now because I know these guys are listening, and I'm just going to keep doing what I do until I get some sort of satisfaction. So, and as you know, I can turn up the heat anytime I want. And like I said, I got a big event going down this weekend, and hopefully it's going to make the TV, the local TV. So, that's about all. And you know what else? Don't think I gave up on Gordon Getty. I'm still getting ready to release all that stuff. Cynthia Beck, you know, I got you on film, wherever you are, live or dead. And I got to tell you something about Cynthia Beck right now. She looks like a damn reptoid. All right, she got some weird things she does with her tongue and her eyes that don't look quite right. But anyway, what can I say? That's the sort of thing that Gordon Getty was into, I guess. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and mute, make myself another tea. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any beer tonight. Oceanside.
Hello.
Oh, yes, it's all yours. Okay, everybody quiet. I'll be right back. See ya.
Dear guests, dear members, dear friends, dear eyes of a child of Almighty Lord, welcome and blessings from Truthcat Radio Network. Thank you to you who are listening to the Stephen D. Kelley Show. Thursday tonight, May 23rd, 2019. Yes, every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Western Time. Please join live on air by tuning in at www.truthcatradio.com. People, if you hear this video, please share it online. Groups with friends, share them wide and clear. We do need your support to social medialize on Facebook, Stephen Kelley or Truthcat's public group under Q-Anon group. Please review the files, the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. Once again, we salute Mr. Julian Assange. We ask our Lord for him to be treated properly and to be set free as all children, as all humanity forevermore. Thank you. I've heard that he's in solitary confinement, so we ask for his life. Twitter activity of Stephen D. Kelley is at one Stephen D. Kelley and hashtag Occupy the Getty. Hashtag Occupy the Getty. Okay, we'll go back to the Getty, but meanwhile, thanks. We are halfway through the first hour. This next hour, you could call to a toll-free phone number, area code LA 714-598-3125. Just let the phone ring once or twice, hang up, and Dr. Kelley will call you back right away. The same goes for Skype address, Stephen.D.Kelley, Anaheim, California. Send a message to join the show and Steve shall connect you right away. Please mute until you are called upon to speak. Blessings are more important than money. So blessings, blessings, blessings. And well, we have to go back to reality and say that Dr. Kitten is 100% listener supported, and especially now because of his early birthday and bills of the month of the season. We are very grateful to anyone now who can contribute and help him go through this with a letter for his birthday, with some presents, or with PayPal. PayPal, Stephen Kelley's 714 at gmail.com. STEVENKELLEY 714 at gmail.com. That information is on the main page, truthcatradio.com, under the button that says support us, okay? We thank all the regulars and all those right on time, last minute contributions that can help things go on. There's no more donation. All is needed, especially your unconditional love. Unconditional love. We do kindly appreciate all the help that you can offer, and might it be that your angels could also help support Steve's effort by becoming a patron. https://www.patreon.com/Stephen D. Kelley. A fun, grounded site where you could set an amount of monthly financial support directed to Truth Cat Radio. Thank you so much. Scalar prayers. We ask Mother, Father, God in heaven to help us, protect us, heal us, forgive us in Christ, light, and Creator's love. Thank you, universe, for closing down the child harvesting, the child trafficking, and arresting those involved. Please occupy the Getty Center. Order Marines to rescue the child sex slaves from all those pedophiles, allowing us to achieve peace on earth, health and nutrition. Thank you, cleaning free energy plus unconditional love. In the name of Jesus the Nazarene, at the Garden of Gethsemane, praying for humanity, protected by angels and archangels. About the petition, we are on 927 signatures out of 100,000. Even though it's so little, it's so important, so much important than gambling and all this power on earth. In order to understand, please read Dr. Stephen D. Kelley. Dr. Stephen D. Kelley's book on Amazon, it used to be $9, then $7, and now it went down to $4 on Amazon. Never mind. The book is about an inventor and laser pioneer, Dr. Kelley, who back in the day used to work in the defense industry and founded SK Industry, the producer of Law 17 laser aiming systems used by law enforcement and military. We salute Billy Mayer and remember all these beam ships and alien technology that has been taken away from us. It's time to have it back. So Stephen writes his stories in his book, Lasers, Cavers, and Magic, and how he was approached to be recruited by a gated secret group he calls the Cavers, which he rejected because they hide, they live underground, and do human sacrifice. And God's creation does not allow hurting any other being. So Doctor.
Sorry.
Yeah. Should I stop? It's already 5 minutes. But
yeah, I know. It's 5 minutes? Okay. So I made the tea, but it's still too hot. And
Okay, just let me say your email, law17gun at AOL.com. LAW17GUN at AOL.com. So if you would like to buy the book, it's called Cities Under the Plane, but you can have it for free just by emailing the author. Okay, you want to come back?
Yep, let's go push a button. Let me put my headphones on.
All right,
I'm back in my little echo chamber. Isabel's been quiet, huh? I got RD here. RD's muted. Hey, you know what's funny? I was just thinking as I was making my tea, that silly woman that called earlier that was like being silly. Did she realize I have her phone number? I could like call her back. It's like, okay, hey, I don't think you finished talking to me.
Isn't that the same one that called us that word in Facebook?
I don't know I think that was Becky. Was this a Becky on the phone?
I don't know. That was the only time I heard the word used.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of interesting. But you know what? Maybe I give her too much credit. I got to tell you that character that was giving us trouble on Facebook, it was some other woman that had put like fake hair on and fake glasses and some stupid stuff, dressed up her, it was like whatever. And you know what? One of the other people in the group, one of the ladies that came forward, and, young women that came forward and was telling us that she had been approached by her and all that stuff. That was the one that posted that silly thing about they're reporting me to the government or investigating me or something like that. And anyway, she said that this girl was coming off like she was some sort of a CIA or something like that. And I'm thinking, I wonder if that big giant Star of David flag on her Facebook page has anything to do with that. Her background is on her Facebook page is the Star of David, flag of Israel. And I'm like, that's kind of obvious.
I saw the insinuation or the reference, we're going to call the law or whatever. And first thing I thought of was last year when I checked in on Patriot Soapbox and I made a comment, hey, suggesting your law enforcement or FBI is not a good idea. And I get this really fire-back reply like, that's intended, implied, or planned, whatever. And by the way, how are your taxes? Yeah, okay, that's the way they do it.
Your taxes? How are your taxes?
One of those people we had to remove made a comment on my page. Well, I had to remove it all, but it was saying, well, I'm sure now it's something about local law enforcement. It was that picture of those two plants.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
You live in Oregon. Hello.
Well, okay. First of all, yes, it's legal. But was that picture time, date stamped? I mean, when does he think that picture was taken?
Yeah. Is there a geo-positioning stamp on it? Stupid.
I think they were long gone consumed. I mean, it's not that,
I know. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh, you're going to give a shit about marijuana. Really? We're talking about baby killers and mobsters, but you're going to talk shit about a little plant. Really?
Yeah. Well,
wow.
It's interesting how dead set against it people in the mind control programs, the one thing they don't.
Right, huh? Yeah.
Do not use it. Well, hello, people. If they don't want you to use it, maybe you ought to go grab some. Wake up. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that might be a clue that's breaks the programming, huh?
Oh well, I've heard that off and on for years now. God, when did that one gal came out? She used to talk about Bob Hope, and somebody else talked about various things, and I've seen it 3 or 4 times. Well, yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the meantime.
Well,
but
you got to have that gal's name. Come on, dude. You know who you're talking about? The woman that came out and said that about the child sex and all that, and how she was passed around with all these celebrities. Yes, she's very famous.
Kathy
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
That's it.
That's one of them. But I've heard the reference.
Obviously, there's more, sure, but Kathy O'Brien's the one that did that one.
But I'm saying I've heard other references to. That's the one thing you weren't allowed to do, or it was a big no-no.
Okay, the one that was Erin Green Hicks, the one that came out at the Super Soldier Fortune and said she was a Rothschild, which I kind of don't believe, but she said the same thing. That's where the first time I heard it. She said that marijuana breaks the mind control programming. And I kind of thought, well, maybe, that might have had something to do with why I didn't go along with the whole Timothy McVeigh thing they were trying to shove me into.
Yeah, well, there's been some interesting, now that there's so many places it's legal, there's places that can legally study the endocannabinoids in your body reaction, and that is really opening up some
Well, yeah, CBD. I'll be in the dispensary, and I'll see a guy walk in there. Looks like a cop. He'll have a crew cut, the whole 9 yards, big dude, and he'll say, I've never had anything to do with pot before, but I've got this pain in my back, and what do you got? You got that CBD oil? What do you got? And it's crazy. It's funny. You just get the same thing, I'm sure.
Oh, it's interesting. There are so many. I mean, oh, good Lord. And it's flush and a lot of competition. But you walk in. Now, you might see some of the typical generic you might expect that work there, not necessarily. But the customers, like, you're not seeing what you think you're going to see when you walk in there. I mean, there's. It's
different. Well, okay, I'll give you an example. One time I was in there. There's a black guy. Hey, don't talk over me. There's a black guy as the security guard, right? And they check you for guns and stuff when you come in. And he had a white guy, like I said, big white guy, looked like a damn cop. And he goes, "Oh, I'm a concealed carry. Should I put my gun outside?" And we don't, not just anybody here in California is concealed carry. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, here we've got us a undercover, and there's a lot of cops out there because it's legal now. They're doing it. They're especially doing the CBD oil. Okay, Artie, you can unmute now.
Oh, wow. I haven't been nowhere up here I haven't seen security yet.
Oh, you guys don't have that? Well, I've been in the ghetto, man. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I can understand it where you're at. I really can. I mean, it's pretty kicked back up here, and there are so many good ones. What's really becoming more common? Not all, but there's quite a few that, what do they call it? Farm to table. In other words, you go in there and everything is theirs. They had the farm, they're not.
Yeah. That's a co-op. Well,
they're not bringing in other people's products and buying stuff. They're growing their own, processing everything. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of starting to crop up a little bit too. But
here, let me just turn it back to Trump. Okay, yeah. This is a perfect segue. We could just point out that was one of the things that Trump said he was going to do when he got elected was the pot vote. And there's your Roger Stone was the guy that was supposed to be digging up that pot vote. It turns out that the whole pro-pot movement, just like the Occupy movement, just like the Hollywood Pedo March, was just a big fake scam by Roger Stone to take advantage of us. So here we are 3 years into the stuff. And what do we got? We've got Monsanto trying to take over, and he's supporting it. We've got him supporting enforced vaccination, which is just incredible.
That one really, hello.
Hello. Yeah, that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That started his death knell. Okay, this is the thing what really killed Trump was first the forced vaccination thing. People go, wait a minute. Then the fact, and this might have come before the vaccination thing, that he hasn't done anything about the chemtrails, even though he's actually said he was going to do something. And we haven't seen, we saw a lull, and now it's back with heavy. So those are two big things. But then the other thing he did that was really bad, a couple things, he came out hard in support of Israel, and then he went and did it again. Just like the vaccination thing. He came out in support of the vaccinations, and then he came out and did it again. He reinforced it. That was really bad. But then the biggest thing he did wrong was when he appointed Acosta. Because when he appointed Acosta, suddenly it became personal for me, and I realized that he was completely corrupt. That was the nail in the coffin right there, was Acosta. If he had not appointed the man that let Jeffrey Epstein walk, I might not have noticed that he's an absolute criminal. But unfortunately, that's what brought the blinders off, and that's when I realized Barr is a criminal. They're all criminal.
Listen, I didn't follow things that detailed that well, but I recognized that name. I went, wait a minute, where do I know that from? And I did. I went right to the internet for Epstein stuff. I knew it was somehow to do with it. Just, I'm going, what the?
RD, we got us a caller.
Okay.
We got a caller. Hang on. I just want to see if they want to say faggot or something to me here. Hang on a sec. Hey, yo, caller, how's it going? Who just joined us?
You want me?
No, I don't want you to say. Hey, Bob. Hey, yo, dude, how you doing, man?
Hey, listen, I'm the one who really wants to push for our yellow vest.
Occupy the gay thing?
and I think we should all have a picnic first and not have our vests on, and then kind of like have a powwow.
Well, we want to do it early in the morning, Bob. We need to kind of get there like really early. It's because when they open the doors, it's like 10 o'clock. Well, the employees are open 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock is when they let the public in. We want to get in there pretty close to that. Hey, but Bob, listen, you heard me earlier mention that there's an operation going down this weekend, right?
I didn't. I just got on.
Okay. Well, check it out. There's an operation going down this weekend. Hopefully everything will go smoothly, and if it works well, and we get any publicity out of it, this will certainly reinforce this, picnic festivities. Sound good?
Okay. I just gotta say, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I'm 67. I was a history major. I was following Q and blah blah, pro-Trump, and now. Reality is setting in.
Mm-hmm.
Reality is setting in, and you are really, really guiding some really a great force, and you'll probably go down in history for it, but I know that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, save the kids and all that, yeah.
But you really, really and truly, your story. Oh, by the way, I got your book on my Kindle, the Cities book. But the other lasers and blazers and all that, I don't know. I try to get it on Amazon, and it's unavailable there.
All right, well, dude, you're not really missing anything. Stick with the freebie, because it's actually probably a better book. I think it's got more stuff in it, to be honest.
I paid $7 for the Cities.
Oh, okay.
But listen, I really love when I know you put on another post. I get so excited when I see you.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So I'm like, I don't know if I am the biggest fan, one of the biggest, but I just really appreciate everything you're doing from the bottom of my heart. And America is
we're gonna get through this. Yeah, we're gonna get through this.
How about Biden make America normal again? What? Normal?
Is that what he said?
Or normal. Yeah, he wants to do MANA. Not MAGA, MANA. Make America normal again.
Oh, wow.
And what does that mean? That you go around just, feeling up all the females,
Wow, that's really bizarre.
I can't believe.
Wow.
I can't believe he is leading. I can't believe he's the front runner.
Wow, that's pathetic. Maybe I should become should I register as a Democrat, you think, maybe? Huh? No, kidding. Should I register as a Democrat?
Yeah, both parties. You know what you got?
Yeah.
You got a left wing and a right wing, and the same SH-T comes out of it.
Uh-huh, yeah, I know.
It's the ego. Left and right wing, same junk comes out.
Well, ego is, you're right, man. The ego is a real problem, and I think that might be something they actually promote in school, because I know schools have a lot to do with the way people think, and the ego issue is sort of like seems like it's totally connected to all these people that are rejecting this reality. Hey, listen, Bob, we got Brian in here. I gotta say hi to Brian.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to the show. I'm just gonna mute myself and listen.
All right, yeah, kick back. All right, okay, go ahead, Brian. Unmute.
What's up?
Dude.
How's it going?
Going, man. All right, what's the latest?
Oh, I've just been working trying to get some money for the property, but I've been watching the videos, kind of following the page, and some of that stuff that Vin put out is very disturbing.
Yeah, it is. But it disturbed me, dude.
Yeah.
No, listen. Were you listening to the last show?
I did not catch the last show. I was in California on a night shift and did not have the availability, but I will catch it on YouTube.
This is what happened in the last show. I'm pretty sure it was the last show, but I was reading, okay? And I was going down this history, talking about Robert Vesco and all that. And then I got to Don Nixon. And I'm like, all of a sudden I was like, holy crap, because I realized I was involved. And it's like, that's where it really changed for me, because I kind of realized it. But then when I realized, oh my gosh, not only is it all true, but I was part of it. That
Right.
Yeah, that
For some of us, I was too young for the Watergate stuff. That all happened like, before I was born and right after I was born. So it's not something that, was a hot topic when I was growing up. But when I started looking into all the Nixon stuff and all the Bahamas thing, Vesco, and the fact that all these people that are tied in to all that gun running and everything, what was his name? Weirlock or something. I don't know. I was reading it today. It was one of the things that Vin put out. It was one of the articles that Vin put out. You had to go and read it. It's pretty long.
I found something today, and I wouldn't be surprised if Vin put this out also, but it was a list of all these really famous people who all had money in this Bahamian bank.
Yep.
I mean, they had all. It was like everybody. It was like all these chancellor of this country, right? Bono. I mean, you name it. Every single one of these bastards. It's like, of course.
It takes you about 4 hours to go through it because there's links to everybody's name, and you got to research them too.
Mm-hmm.
And it even goes back to Reagan.
Yeah, per Reagan. And here I am. I love Reagan, and yet, well, that's the thing. It's just like RD was saying here about they get somebody and then they stick them with somebody bad. Because I remember Reagan was running against George Bush. We all hated George Bush because we knew he was CIA. And then Reagan wins, and they go, here's George Bush. And we're like, oh, crap, because we knew old man Reagan eventually would get replaced. So one way or the other, they got their bastard in the office.
Right.
But we all knew it. And then somehow, you see, this is the thing. As a Reagan Republican, we all knew that George Bush was awful. But after 8 years of Reagan, everybody kind of forgot. It's like we were willing to let George Bush do his thing, even though we all knew who and what he was.
Well, that's all by design.
Yep.
I mean,
that's right.
Unfortunately. And, like you've said numerous times, and it's been mentioned in the group 100 times, neither one of these parties is a good guy.
Yeah, really.
It's all backdrop, green screen,
Yeah. It's just so icky. And, for people to actually suggest that, it's like choosing between evils, just because Hillary was allowed to do that. It's like, sure, of course she was allowed. She ran amok, but she was like a little hillbilly mafia operating within a much, much larger mafia. Right. And the other mafia let her get away with it and let her even operate within their system because they knew
the
time would come.
It kind of makes me wonder, too, when they did the big mafia bust, they had them all in the same place at the same time. It was almost like that was set up to say, okay, the mob's been taken down, and really they just
know what that is?
Power.
That's the prince, man. That's Machiavelli right there.
Yep.
That's what that is. Yep. It's all Machiavelli. It's all art of war. The Machiavelli is so strong with this stuff. It's ridiculous. Corporate raider. That's what Donald Trump is. He's a corporate raider. Who would have thought that a mafioso corporate raider would be beloved? It's crazy. That's some good marketing right there.
And then I read another article, too, that, Trump confided in, he went to the FBI before he decided to build in Atlantic City, and they recommended him not do it, because of the players that were there. The mob pretty much ran Atlantic City at that time. But he had ties to those people. And, in one sense, the lady that was doing the article, she made a point that in the construction business in New York, all the general contractors are mobsters. So you had to work with them at some point if you wanted to be in construction.
Everybody knows it's full of mobsters.
Right.
Teamsters.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah. They're all mobsters.
Just
all
higher up.
No. See, I went and forgot what I was going to say again. Too dark. No, it's just this mobster crap. What the hell? Oh, I just want to say that in 1980, long time ago, when Reagan was president, Trump went to what was then the USSR. That was back while the Cold War was still going on. The wall was still there. And he told Reagan that he wanted to be a special envoy to Gorbachev to go try to convince him to, end the Cold War. And not only did Reagan say, okay, but he sent along his Secretary of State, George Shultz, to go with him. And here you see Donald Trump shaking hands with Gorbachev, Masonic handshake, clear as day. And, things happen. But so you got to think, okay, first of all, what kind of arrogant son of a bitch does that? What, Elvis? Elvis did that with Nixon, but, is Donald Trump Elvis? Is that what this is? Is this what's his face, Dennis Rodman going to North Korea kind of thing? You know what I mean? Yeah. But this is the thing you got to remember. The mafia controls the mafia. The syndicate also controls the Russian mafia, the Ukrainian mafia, Kazakhstani mafia, you name it. Italian mafia, Sicilian mafia, French mafia, English mafia, Irish mafia, New York mafia, Brazilian mafia, Mexican mafia, Cuban mafia. Let's not forget the ones from, what is it? The one they like to talk about all the time, M13. Those guys come from El Salvador. So they control all these people.
Right, but back when Vesco was doing his thing, there's all in that same article, they talk about when the Vatican started allowing the syndicate and giving them money, and they named off all these people, and you can go and research those names, and the Vatican's all tied into it, which is all. Do you
remember the big scandal when they found the head of the Vatican Bank hanging from the London Bridge? Do you remember that one?
I was probably too young. I haven't heard about it.
I think it was the London Bridge. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was,
Remember that story? Yeah.
Yeah. And, when you first brought up the Don Nixon name, I can only remember I heard the name and I thought, wait, I remember the story of Richard Nixon's nephew and Cuba and some, I don't
jail.
I don't remember details, but I do remember something about, and his boss I don't know. I didn't ever remember hearing the name Vesco, but, that would be a very significant vacuum to know who filled, because it wouldn't be filled after empty. It may have been premeditated.
Yep.
I mean, you're talking about a club where before you replace somebody, the replacement's ready.
There's a power struggle, at the very least. There's an election. They all get together and pick somebody, and in this case, I think they picked Donald Trump. We think like, okay, we lost somebody, and who they replacing it with. It's all premeditated. Nobody even thought to figure out who replaced Vesco. Come on, people. You think they just quit?
Yeah, I had a whole different idea about it back at the time I heard the story, because like I say, I learned early in life, when you say mafia, it's kind of an umbrella for who's running all the secret societies, and we've said it before, and it all leads back to, and you get there,
look, we got an unknown person. Maybe they're a troll here. Hang on. Let's see who they have to say. Unknown person. Hello. You just joined us.
Hey, it's me. Yeah.
Oh, it's Skipper. Skip. How come you got unknown person? You shouldn't we actually got him. Okay. Everybody here knows Skip, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know most of you guys don't know Skip, but Skip, speak, Skip, speak. What's up? You probably don't know anything that's going on, but go ahead and talk.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about the Knights of the Sacred Order, with Don Nixon and all that.
Oh, that's right. You totally know about that.
Remember he tried to make the serum for the AIDS and all that shit out there?
I forgot. Oh, you guys, let me just preface this real quick. Okay, first of all, Skip here was around for all this crap. Totally. You were there. Yeah. You were totally there. So when we
were in house and you were Belinda, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all these people think this is fake. I mean, hello, Yeah, they go, where's your evidence? Where's your evidence? I don't know, Skip, do you consider yourself evidence? I guess I'm evidence, right? We're all evidence, right?
Oh, great, yeah.
I know.
Good
But okay,
time.
tell us about Donald Nixon. And tell us about when he was beating on Norman's front door and all that. Or better yet,
Oh,
tell us
my
what
God.
Norman did to piss off Don Nixon. That'd be a good story right there.
Yeah, because he was, what happened with that gig in Canada, I guess it went south, I guess, and Don Nixon lost his investment. That's about 15 grand. So he wanted
Oh, it's
to collect
only
that.
15 grand. Oh, God.
Yeah, but he took it out on his house too, the money.
He took out a second on his house and gave the money to Norman. Oh,
Yeah, to pay for the color section rate, right.
my God. And Norman ate the money, huh? Wow.
So that was just,
Okay, so he was pissed off. That
right. He broke into the Anaheim Hills. He went to Norman's house.
Yeah.
He used a credit card even to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman went and hid in the bathroom. He had this 45. He was holding on the other side of the door.
Oh, I didn't know he actually got into the house. So he broke down the front door.
Yeah. Yeah, that was why he had, and he stole Norman's Rolodex. So that's why, Norman was going to go full tilt on him that he broke in and everything. But
I didn't know that.
Norman got the Rolodex back, yeah.
Oh, he got the Rolodex back. Oh, yeah, after he copied everything. Or he removed certain stuff. Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that whole Cuban thing with Vesco, too. He was involved in trying to make that serum with yeah, right. It was some kind of the AIDS concoction.
Well, they have access to all that weird stuff, as Templars, and he was probably trying to just make a little extra money trying to market some of their special stuff. You think? All right. What do you think Don Nixon was to Vesco? What do you think he was? Because everyone says he was just a gopher. Do you think he's more than that?
He was, I think, the man with the money.
No, Vesco had the money. Nixon didn't have any money compared to Vesco.
Oh! I thought you were talking about Vesco. Yeah, Vesco. Okay, he had the money. Don.
Yeah.
I don't.
They were all invested in whatever land was
sacred Knights. They had their own society.
All right. Let's talk about the Sacred Knights thing. Okay. Yeah. Don said that he's like executioner for this secret order they call the Sacred Knights of, what is it? Sacred Knights of Malta or some stupid thing like that?
No, I think Malta. You know what? It was some island. It was island off the coast of the Americas. It was on the island they called themselves the Knights of the Sacred Order. It was their island.
It's like Bermuda or some crap like that, somewhere around there. Caribbean.
I don't remember where it was located.
Well, anyway, we know the Templars all do their thing at tell these people about Jim. Tell them about Jim. You ever meet Jim?
Jim, Don's friend, Jim?
Yeah, Getty guy, Jim.
The one that was the bookkeeper for
He wasn't
yeah.
a bookkeeper. He was a trust fund manager. Man.
Well, okay, it was who was not the bookkeeper, but involved.
Yeah. He was running there. He had the checkbook. Yeah, for the Getty. He had the Getty checkbook.
Yeah, right. And so he was seeing odd things like the 1 million gallon water tank and stuff. The expenditures for all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, they got 1 million gallon water tank.
That's when they tried to figure out what the hell's really going on here.
You think the 1 million gallon water tank was the first clue? Probably, huh?
Yeah, that
right,
and
let's
several
say
other
something
things.
about the water tank first. Before we knew about the underground stuff, we thought that the water tank was going to be used to flood the garden area to create a quick moat right before a battle. So that way, right now, if it's a castle, obviously it's a castle. You need to. It's designed so that if they release a bunch of water, certain areas are going to fill in with water, and it'll make it inaccessible. Like, for instance, the rear area where the cafe, the dining room is, and all that. That whole area would become inaccessible should they dump that water there. But that's what the original explanation for the water was. I remember that's what Jim said. You remember that, Skip?
I don't remember the whole story. I remember I talked with Norman one time about it in detail, about everything, just all the little things. But I have to kind of bring it up because of my mind here.
Do you remember when Jim was learning how to do some magic stuff after he got recruited? He started doing like breaking glass and things like that. Remember that? Do you ever hear about that?
Something about some vaguely. I remembered Norman talking about it, but I wasn't involved really with the whole thing. I mean,
All right. Well, I mean, you ever at the house? You ever at the house when Jim came over?
No, I was always just there with Norman and Don.
You were there. Have you ever been over there when Don Nixon came over?
You mean to the house, to the Anaheim Hill house, or the one in Villa Park?
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't the door that Don Nixon beat down, was that in Anaheim Hills or Villa Park?
Yeah, that was Anaheim Hills.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Villa Park.
And that's when, then after all that, that's when he moved to HB, and then,
Really? Okay. And then we had the issues with the cops over there.
Well, that was.
Anyway, but okay, we won't go into that story. But that was funny. That blew the cops away. They came in the house and there's all this laser equipment, big old laser tables and tanks with pipes and chemicals.
Took the Galil. They took Norman's Galil, and he got remember that too.
He got it back though, right?
He got it back though, but he had to come up with the paperwork to show that, hey, I bought this thing, it's mine.
Right.
But yeah, he did get it back.
All right, well, that's a funny little bit of history. Let's see, what else can we, just for the benefit of the people that want to hear some of this Getty stuff. All right, well, you see Norman quite a bit, so I'm just kind of curious, does he have any clue what's going on right now with all the Getty stuff? You know this stuff's national news now, right?
I've been keeping up with you. I mean, I've listened, but I think, oh, shit, it's Thursday, I better, And then,
I know, but have you been seeing it on TV and stuff?
No, I haven't watched TV at all, actually.
Well, good for you. But all right, just heads up, real quick. Just the whole Getty issue with the tunnels and the children under the Getty and all that has become a big deal. Millions and millions of people in this country know about it now, and I'm just kind of curious if Norman's figured out that everybody's starting to wake up to that stuff, because sooner or later they're going to be coming and asking him questions, more than likely. If he.
Oh yeah, he knows. He actually thought that one gal that wanted to make the movie.
Oh yeah, he gave her. He was rude as fuck to her.
He thought that she was like somebody else that's trying to weasel her way into what's going on with his doing.
Well, that's because he's like clueless, because unlike me, he's the exact opposite. He's chasing the money. That's all he cares about. But she's just trying to be fair to him. And that's all. That's the only reason why. And because obviously it's a better movie if he cooperates. But she thinks that he, of course, being the ego idiot that he is, he thinks it's all about him. And in fact, not only that, I'm sorry, I'm kind of surprised you didn't say this, but I think when she told Norman about all this, he came out and tried to tell her that he was responsible for the entire Occupy the Getty movement or something like this.
Oh, yeah. He thinks, he actually thinks that it's his gig.
It's his gig.
He
thinks that he's been doing this all those years, right?
Yeah, like he's responsible for everything. Wow. It's his gig, yeah.
Does he think he's like going to make money off this or something, or what?
I think he just wants notoriety and stuff.
Oh, he just wants his ego stroked, right? Well, then why didn't he let her make that damn movie? He should have kissed her ass, and then she would have stroked his ego. We make a movie, and he gets famous instead. But no, he's got to be number one.
Yes, he has to be in charge, right?
Well, that's not going to work too well, is it? I think I got about a few people behind me that probably would think that's a little weird, but yeah, especially since he's like, he doesn't even believe in chemtrails. I mean, come on, who's he gonna lead? Anyway, somebody want to say something?
Cool with them, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but this whole idea, no, seriously, Skip, you and I know, those are sort of delusions, this whole idea that he thinks he's responsible for this whole thing. But whatever.
No, I meant just the whole thing when you guys going to dinner and meeting Jim and the whole gig. It was all just came together, you know.
Well, see, that's the thing. Up until Jim meeting me, they thought that he was the one. And then Jim meets me and says, holy shit, you're just a pale shadow of this one. And he's never kind of gotten over that. So, yeah, that's the night. That's the night that the Getty kind of dumped him and decided I was the one they were interested in. And he's never gotten over that. But hey, I'm not Jim. I did not say that. Jim did not need to burst his little bubble like that and hurt his little ego. I didn't do it. Jim did it, right? Anyway, so yeah, well, there's Skip backing up that story. We all know that story. And then we come back and drink the Uzos, and he starts talking about the Can't Be Killed Club stuff.
And Bill called me, texted me, and he was going out to New York, and he wanted to meet me and say hi again because he thought he said he was never going to see me again.
Are you saying he's moving to New York?
He left. He's gone. Yeah, he went to New York.
He's a New Yorker. What, do you get a new job over in New York? Probably, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, Bill Jones, of course, is prominently mentioned in the book. He's the guy that worked for Hughes Aircraft that got all scared when the FBI started snooping around because he was going to help us get the phased array radar systems for Saddam Hussein.
But he does have a super security clearance and everything, and he was worried about all of that. I think that was his main issue. Also.
Of course.
You know, with the heat, everything, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I won't say anything else about the things that might have been causing his paranoia, but let's just say that he was having some serious issues. Anyway.
I've been hiking with him, and man, it's unbelievable, that guy. You wouldn't even recognize him, actually, you know.
Well, that's whatever. We don't want to get into that because he's, you know.
But, you know,
you see, this is the thing. There's a lot of people. I mean, this is why I don't trip on it because I know how egos work. But when I hear my brother trying to act like he's actually involved in this, and yet he's never put in 1 second into this cause, and that's been my whole life for the last, I don't know, however many years.
Yeah.
You know, long enough for a child to grow up, at least. And I've given up everything. He hasn't given up anything. So for him to come along now and act like he's actually had any involvement in this is just crazy as all hell. But yeah,
I think.
What?
I'm sorry. No, you said the whole. I listened to your program. I think it was a week or two ago, and you played an old one. I mean, you know, I guess you weren't live, but you put something else on it, and you talked about the whole thing, about the meeting, you know, with Jim and the restaurant and the whole thing, everything.
Yeah. I try to remember. You know, I was thinking about that today or yesterday. I was trying to remember the exact date that happened because usually, you know, you go to court or somebody say, well, what date did that happen? It's like, I don't really remember. I remember Clinton was president, right? I remember that part. You know, and I know we were eating Greek food in a Greek restaurant. And we went back to the pad in Villa Park afterwards and hung out in the bar at the home, smoked cigars and smoked Cubans, I believe. All my stories end with Cubans. If you seriously, all the funny stories I have, they always seem to end with Cubans.
Good, great stuff, though. I mean, the SK Industry Days, just so much fun.
All right, we'll just talk about SK Industries really quick because I know it's been a long time since SK Industries around, and people don't even believe this stuff. But my lasers were the shit, huh? I was all over the magazines and everything back then, huh?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I was going through every magazine here, you know, pointing out all your competitors, and the people were trying to rip you off, and just, you know what I'm saying? It was awesome.
Back in the day, with all the competitors.
Yeah.
Told me.
Yeah. I remember I had all their company names down, just memorized. It was unbelievable. You know, I kept up with. We kept up with everything.
Well, that's a whole nother world now. But you know, it's like because people challenge my credentials. They think, oh, you're a liberal and all this stuff. And I know a lot of these guys. They're like NRA, pro NRA. They like their guns. They like, you know, Trump, everything else. But they don't realize I'm not just a gun guy. I'm like a gun superstar. At least I was back then. And
it was on, yeah.
It was on. It was totally on. Hell, I'm on the cover of damn Guns and Ammo. It's like, who does that? Right?
It's all true. You listeners out there, trust me, it's all true. Everything Steve says.
But anyway, I walked away. I walked away from. I actually took the calculator out and figured out how much I walked away from the other night. It came out to about $860 million. Just one gig.
Jeez.
Just one gig. But
yeah, I remember some of them.
Yeah. Well, gosh. Okay, you remember David Kellerman, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you remember when he was? Remember then when Tom Hansen was around? You remember all that?
No, I don't. Is that back?
All right.
When
when David Kellerman became my CFO, and we were doing the business plan for Tom Hansen. Do you remember that?
Oh, okay. I was thinking, okay, and before that, though, Kellerman was still a CPA for...
well, it's always a CPA for something. But...
Well, yeah. Oh, it was Sugars. He did all the Sugars bars.
Sugar?
And I'm sitting in Sugars. I go in there, and he comes out from somewhere.
Oh, he was working at a strip club. That's right. He was
here's a picture.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, here's all the free pictures you want, Skip.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, let me just describe David Kellerman. All right, he's your basic Jewish guy, curly hair, kind of overweight. He smokes cigarettes. I don't know if he's still even alive, man, because had
probably
really
bald.
Well, probably bald by now. But he had had some serious breathing issues back then. But I remember one thing that David Kellerman, because when we were doing all that stuff, Norman was really jealous, and David Kellerman, of course, was aware of all this because he was the guy that had to do the business plan. That means that he had to write in Norman and give him his little chunk, even though Norman wasn't doing anything. And he didn't really like that because he was the accountant. That's the accountant's job to wonder, why the hell are you giving somebody money and they're not doing anything? But he made a comment, and he said that it's not my fault that I just happen to be in the most macho business there could possibly be. It's remember, my business was so macho. It's just like it didn't get any.
Kellerman was more pals with Bill, though.
Well, of course he was, but anyway. But he's a character. But he's one of those guys. When this is the thing. When Tom was a caver, all right, and it turned out he was actually a reptoid. We found that out later. But when we found out that this guy was a fraud, David Kellerman was kind of pissed off because he had invested a lot of time, and we were expecting to make $60 million, and
sure.
Yeah, and he was pissed, and he wanted to sue. He's like, I'm going to sue this guy. Well, you can't sue a guy that doesn't even officially exist. But the sad thing about all this is that when all that was going down, Bill Jones swore that it was all made up, not happening, and that I was a pathological liar. And I'm like, wait a minute, Bill, your best friend, David Kellerman over here, is my CPA, and he's been there from day one, and you're going to tell me this is all made up? Give me a break.
He's scared.
He's scared.
He was scared because of Hughes Aircraft and the whole thing.
He was in denial. Well, Hughes Aircraft is part of everything we're talking about nowadays. Okay? With Donald Trump.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, look at what happened to Hughes Aircraft, right?
Yeah.
Where are they now? Huh. Yeah.
It's a residential neighborhood now.
It's a residential
neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right. It's a residential neighborhood. It's not around anymore. It's gone. They sliced that thing up and paved over it is what they did. So,
guys, there's so much stuff that I want to talk to you and just cover with you over just all kinds of different issues. And
well, we're already over time. We're already like 9:10, but we're just kind of taking advantage of this to have you sort of back up some of this stuff because, like I'll tell you, Skip, in my little group right now, I'm working really hard to get it through these people's head that I actually was like ex-CIA, NSA, and all that, and they think yeah, and they think it's all about you, blah blah blah. But the point is that if they realize that I really did do this stuff and I really did work with Don Nixon and Vesco and the Ollie,
sure. I met him and shook his hand myself, and met his wife and his dog, and
You bet more of them than I did, and I just looked at his. All I remember from the guy was his dandruff and his glasses. To be honest, his salt. Remember those glasses he used to wear? Those funky.
The bottle cap lenses.
They were like held together with fishing line. Back in those days, that was kind of different.
Oh yeah.
Common now, but I tripped on that. I remember I was tripped on that.
But yeah, he sure tripped out on Norman though. He went to that Anaheim Hills house, and he went in, and he took his Rolodex.
Skip, let me just say this. I know we got to go into all that, but I always wondered why in the hell these guys didn't just pay me off. Why didn't they just give me a bunch of money if they thought I was going to do this stuff? Why didn't they just buy me off? And I realized, well, they tried to buy off Norman because they thought Norman was me, and Norman screwed him.
Yeah.
Norman screwed him and pissed him off, and then they find out I'm the one that they were supposed to be giving the money to.
Yes, they got confused. They were confused between the two of you guys.
And here's the thing, because Norman is all Mr. Greed ego monster, they probably thought, oh, this one will work out real well. They thought he's one of us. And they go, oh no, it's the wrong one.
Gosh.
It should be a movie, huh? It really should be a movie.
Oh, absolutely. A doc. Yeah.
Yeah, Laura. Come on, it should be a movie. You got to get over it. We'll put Skip in the movie. Hey, Skip, I thought we were in the movie. What the hell?
Yeah, I was supposed to be already in it at the beginning.
Right. That's right. Laura, did you hear that? Hang on. Let me see if Laura's out there. Let me see if she's even listening. I'm thinking, hey,
all your friends bail on us?
Laura's the movie woman. She's probably out there. I got to remember what her number is.
How's Diane?
Diane's here right now. How's Diane? You've been missing Diane, huh? Look at you.
Hi, Skip.
Hello.
I want to know where Sam is. Sam, why the hell did you call in, damn it? And Tony, I didn't forget. Tony, did I not say hello, Tony? How come you don't call in? I wonder who this Thailand person is. Who do we know in Thailand? Anybody?
Thailand. Shoot. Just probably some old customer of yours,
Funny. My CIA customer, perhaps. Yeah, Diane, do you want to say something? I know I'm just having fun here, you guys. I don't know if we should just close it up and talk.
I know. I kind of called in late and we're blown back from the past here. But I had to call in about the Cuban thing with Vesco and the whole thing.
No, that's important. But Diane wants to say something. So let Diane just say whatever she wants to say. Go on. Go.
Well, just Cain and Abel sound like you and Norman.
Oh, there you go, huh?
I mean, whoever killed one of you, one of you has to kill.
Well, nobody's going to kill.
Cain killed Abel.
Not.
Remember,
these guys are.
Norman is also in a Can't Be Killed club. Okay.
You two are still thick together, bonded.
Norman has to be Norman in order for me to be me. That's how this works. And let me just explain it for people who don't understand how this works. In order for me to be a psychic warrior, I have to have equal amounts of yin and yang. And the only way I can do that is by having a twin brother who can have all the yin and allow me all the yang. And by having all the yang, that makes me a warrior. And I can be a total yang warrior and still have the benefit of having balanced yin and yang. That's what
it's like. Whatever he gives up, you gain.
That's right.
Like he just pours over to you.
When I was like super Mr. Macho guy, he was like cover of a transgender thing. It's like when I went masculine, he went feminine. That's how it worked. So when I was like all hairy and wearing kids and playing with guns and stuff, he became.
It just empowered you even more, man.
I got all that energy and I had it all. I had all. I got all the male in the thing. And see, the thing is, if normally when somebody has all that male energy, there's no way they can be psychic. It just doesn't work. It blocks it. So this gives me Well, I call it dispensation or something like that.
Well, Norman told me he's got a third eye.
We all have third eyes. Come on now. I know Norman
Third
thinks
eye, okay.
we're all magic. Come on. Norman wants to be number one magic boy. It's
Third
okay.
eye.
But Norman's responsible. Okay, real quick before the show's over, we'll talk about Bora real quick because I know he hates that. How did Norman meet Bora? Do you know?
Yeah.
Well, tell us.
Remember he produced the magazine. Remember the magazine?
All right, he produced a transgender magazine. Was Bora transgender?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you tell me Bora was a guy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought Bora was a woman. Wow, that's trippy. Okay, so Bora.
She was a transgender.
Okay, so tell us more about Bora. Bora was rich, though, right? Didn't Bora have a ton of money?
Yeah, and I think was she from New York? Yeah, I know she had money and she had influence, and she knew even somebody from at the Getty, and that's when the whole tour, besides with Dawn too, or I gotta remember, I gotta.
The tour also? I don't think so. I thought that was a whole nother visit. Was Bora?
No, I think that's when they all went down, and she.
Well,
yeah,
okay,
I think she was
do you
there.
realize right now you just filled in some stuff that is not in my book? I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Everybody that read my book, you guys, you just got a major little gut spill here. All right, because Bora is a major. All these people that we're talking about here are big players in my book, and it just came out that the whole reason why Norman even hung out with Bora was because Bora was a transgender that was dealing with Norman because of his transgender magazine.
He was like he was producing her, and and just get all that.
Bora was helping Norman produce the magazine.
Norman was,
or what?
Well,
confused.
He had a studio, and the whole thing, and just everything. But
Norman has studio, Bora has studio. All right. Okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, when Bora did the went down into the Getty
remote viewed
and got to the bottom where all the bloody stuff was, I gotta say she. See, we just had this issue tonight with Bradley Manning, but I'm gonna say she anyway because if I know her as a she, then it's gonna stay as she. But when Bora got to the bottom, that's when she sort of freaked out and it's like, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore, right?
I don't remember all the details, but I just thought besides that, there was the other thing with Don and his pal and the whole CPA thing going on, who could see the books and where the money's
you're talking about Jim. Do you know what Jim's last name was?
Gosh, I don't remember. No, not offhand.
No, I was going to have to write a book. You know what I mean? Jeez, I wish I wrote this stuff down.
It would be about 400 pages.
Well, anyway, Jim's Greek. He was like a purebred Greek dude. His father's probably pretty, but yeah, Jim and Don both worked as really high-priced CPAs for some company in LA over there. I believe it was.
And wasn't something else about with Afghanistan too, and about the missiles and
no. That's you're talking about that's Don's brother. Okay,
brother, right? Okay, that's his brother.
Right, Don's older brother, my brother's buddy, Don, partner, whatever you want to call him. His brother was the CIA station chief. You guys, I hope you're listening to this shit because you can't make it up. But his brother was a CIA station chief for Pakistan during the Russia-Afghanistan war. And he was the guy, Jim Wood. Jim Wood? That was his name? No way. No, I don't know. Jim Wood, no. Jim Wood is a company. Jim Wood is the guy that owned the optical company one of the optical companies I worked for. That's J.L. Wood. No, he's Greek. It's a Greek name, not Wood.
I can get his name for you anyway.
Get his name. We'll get Jim's name. That'd be great. But anyway, back to Don's brother. when Don's brother was the CIA station chief in Pakistan, he was the guy that was responsible for giving the Mujahideen the Stinger missiles. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's what you're
All
talking
right.
about.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, come on, think about that, people. It's like, this was my perspective. And this is in the 1980s that was going down. And this is CIA. And we were like totally involved. We knew everything. I mean, there wasn't anything we didn't know. This stuff was in the magazines, even like on the cover of Soldier of Fortune magazine. You know, it's like, I'm surprised that people forget this stuff.
Remember that movie that, what's his name made, Kelley's War or Somebody's War? What was it called? The movie about
What? World War II?
Remember the movie that was made, Somebody's War with, remember,
was it related to this
anyways,
stuff? Look at you.
Yeah, it was about what happened anyways there.
Okay.
But yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's all big time, man. I thought it like he was a Vietnam vet, or I thought Donnie was with the Vietnam.
Yeah, and I remember he moved out to that trailer out in, what was it, Hemet or something like that? Out in the boonies?
Yeah, that's right. They're going to make a little compound out there in Anzabreg.
Out in the boonies, ex-CIA guy out in the boonies. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Anzabreg.
Anzabrego. I remember when I went out to his pad with Norman and Don, I'm thinking, oh man, we got to do this too, huh? Remember that?
The compound.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. It's like, yep, we'll build our little compound out here in the boonies.
Exactly.
Anyway, okay. Well, listen, we could go all night, obviously, and I think for the record, though, it's
I'm gonna come over and see you, anyways. You know.
Yeah, you keep saying that. My God.
I know, but now that you trim the bushes down, I could park it. Right, I could pull the RV up and hang out.
How about the RV? I have to move the truck over a little bit, but well, I don't know how you could park on the street. Come on, it's not that big a deal. You just got to move it around when the street sweeper comes.
Okay, all right, okay.
Big. Hood's not going to fuck with you. They know who I am. Come on. Oh, yes. Oh, dude, yesterday, like 20 police cars cruised down the street, and I found out today they weren't. It was the FBI too. The FBI was out there too.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly they were looking for a stolen SUV that came from Montebello that was filled with machine guns, I believe. And for some reason, you heard about that?
Okay, it was it was actually somebody bagged a vehicle and it had just like it had weapons in it, and they were all like tied down and attached or whatever, you had locked down or whatever. But
no big, right? Well, anyway, cruised down the street like an armada, real sneaky like, and of course I saw them on my CCTV. I saw the first three cars go by. I saw the first car go by, and I go, "Huh, look at that!" And then another one, and then another one. I go, "Whoops!" And then I go outside, and I look down the street, and there's a whole string of them, and not just black and whites, but cars with antennas and crap. Anyway, but yeah. So I think that might have had something to do with me saying that I had the hood working for me now. But I do.
Okay.
Actually, I have the hood working for me right now.
So anyways, I'm still in HB. I'm down over here by the pier.
Everybody, if you want to keep Skip from getting over here, he's in HB by the pier. That's a joke, huh, Skip? I don't think anybody's going to touch
my little studio.
All right, Skip. I think we got to get out of here since it's gotten so late, and I've got to go do fun things. Yeah, right. Here, let me see who's all hanging out here still. I know I got all these. I should let everybody that's here say something. Isabella, you've been sitting here so quiet. I know you just wanted to listen, but don't you want to say something?
Oh,
Isabella.
Good night.
Okay. All right, get out of here. Did you have fun? Was it fun?
I did. It's very, very interesting, all of this. It's a whole other world.
What did you think of this Skip guy? Huh? What did you think? Huh?
Yeah. Wow.
You got to tell him my name.
His last name is Zion. Okay, so all you people that think I hate Jews, he's
best friend for fucking 30 years.
Any more Jewish than this guy, except for maybe his brother.
Hell no, my brother. Are you kidding me?
Okay, come on, man. Your brother's more Jewish than you are. Give me a break. It's not a Jewish contest. brother's
that.
more. Just give me a break, man. He's like counts his pennies and stuff. You know, remember he had that
Yeah,
little.
you know what? I did try to get a hold of him the other day, and Eva texted me back and said that he still feels pretty bad about what happened with. He still thinks I owe $15,000, so he.
Oh,
wants
you
nothing
think
to
she
do
got
with
money?
it.
It's all come on. It's just like my brother, you know. Jeez,
Yeah. I was supposed
about
to
money,
make that $50,000
right?
thing for him, you know.
Oh,
And
joke.
it didn't work out.
Everybody wants money. Oh well. See where his
Yeah.
priorities.
Oh well. So he still doesn't want to deal with me, and that's that.
Oh well, right. Well, I won't have anything to do
Yeah.
with it. He threatened to call the cops on me because I was growing some pot. I'm like,
Oh,
you really think I
gosh.
deal with you after that? Come on, man. That's not cool. You don't do that. Because he wanted he wanted free pot. It's like, give me an ounce. I'm like, oh, think so? Okay, adios.
You know that my parents, when they made the will, they left my brother out and my sister out, and they made me the initial appointment. So that's when Norman actually helped me sell that house.
You want
I
to get
needed
into
Norman to type.
Yeah. Norman played attorney for you. I get it. We don't want to get
Hell
into
yeah, man.
All right, that's too much dirty laundry now, man.
That was a huge score, though.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Blew it, man. I don't want to talk about that money. Come on, you pissed me off with that shit. You should have been helping to fund my operation. We'd be rich right now. Come on. All right.
Well, I did. I subsidized you a lot.
I don't tell me that. You know, I'm not going to get into that $135,000 deal. Remember that?
Know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Europe. Let's remember that, huh? Okay. Anyway, let's start getting rid of people. Isabel, I'm going to get rid of you first. Get out of here. Okay, go.
Okay.
Get.
All right.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
wait, you don't have to leave just yet. We're going to do one more thing. Hang on. Diane, where are you? Diane. Where's Diane, turn on your microphone.
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you now. Okay, Diane, give us a little closing prayer, okay? And then get out of here, okay?
Thank you.
Mute while you do it.
In the day when I cried out, you answered me and made me bold with strength. You answered me and made me bold with strength in my soul. Lord, help me to embrace the moments of our lives that are hard to get our arms around. Enable our eyes to see you in them. Help us always to acknowledge the abundance of your goodness to us. I lift to you the deepest struggles.
That's not me making. I'm sorry, Diane. That's probably Isabel or somebody making all that noise. Okay, shh. Okay, go ahead.
Sweet.
We trust you to open our eyes to see all you have for us in them. Reveal to us the fullness of it all. Thank you that we can be filled with the joy of your presence in every step we take, because you have given us the light we need for every step that we're on.
Okay. I hope that's it. Sorry.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let me start. All right. We got to get rid of some people here. Okay. Bob, you still here? Bob, is that you? 717?
Oh, that's me. I hang up.
Stop. Okay. All right. Everybody start hanging up. Okay. We'll get everybody out of here. Okay. Good night, Isabel. Good night, Brian. Say good night, Brian.
Good night. Thanks for coming in, Skip.
Hey, come back again, Brian. Don't be a stranger. All right.
I will. I'm glad I made it in late, but at least I made it. I'm glad Skip came in and got all that information out. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I listened to you, Brian. I've heard you talk to Steve a bunch of times.
Brian's going to hook me up with some toys one of these days, huh, Brian?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh my God, Brian. Okay, I wish you would.
Toy.
Oh, right on. Oh, dude, I'm toyless, and you know how that is. I need, how. Anyway.
Hey, Brian, I like your Facebook page.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Thanks
all right.
Good night, guys.
Hey, Volition Armament, everybody. Volition Armament.
There you go.
All right, get out of here. Get. All right, bye, Skip. Go
Yeah.
on. All right, go.
Okay, bye-bye, Steve. I'll see
Happy
you soon.
birthday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, happy birthday, Steve.
All right, okay, go, Skip. Go hang up. I gotta.
All right.
Okay, go.
Okay, bye-bye.
Wow.
Bye.
Okay. All right, later on, dude. Get out of here, Skip. You're still here, man. Okay. All right, RD. Thanks a lot, man. I'll talk to you soon, okay? And keep an eye out for those trolls, okay, dude?
Yeah, you didn't get me banned yet.
I didn't get you banned yet. I'll try. I'm not trying to get you banned, dude.
I know you're not, but I'm sending smoke signals, hoping it happens.
Well, I gotta wait until I can't leave us hanging, dude. You're gonna be a moderator in the group really soon, man.
Okay, but like I say, it's only a couple more days. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I still got time to get you banned. Just think, okay, all right.
I'm sitting here thinking, should I design a campaign medal so I can wear it like a badge of honor? Catch you later, dude. It was really worth sticking around. I love it when Skip shows up. A lot of good history there, and
I never knew Bora was a dude, man.
I've just holding my breath on that one. I'm going, oh Lord.
Oh, dude.
I know a story like that, and it's pretty like, oh, really?
Well, let me just say this. Okay, as I was saying about the whole yin and yang thing.
Yeah.
The gayness, when you're gay like that, you got a real good mix in the male and female. You have more skills. That's just the way it works. And this is why I don't have to deal with that crap, because I got Norman.
Well,
all right.
I grew up with 4 sisters, so maybe it's where I get some of it. I don't know.
Oh, get out of here with that shit. All right, get out of here.
Good night, guys. Thanks for the good time.
All right, go. Get. All right, everybody. Holy moly. Let me make sure I got everything ready to go. Okay, look at that. We went over by 33 minutes, but I guess it was worth it because we had to hear all this stuff from Skip, and that sort of backed up a lot of the stuff, spontaneously. So yeah, there's your evidence, people. In a court of law, this is how this stuff works. It's firsthand experience. So I was there. That's how it works. Not a piece of paper or a link on the internet. Okay, so get used to it, because sometimes the evidence is a human. Anyway. Oh, I'm so flustered I don't even know what button to push. I'll figure it out. Anyway, guys. All right, with that, I'm going to say I'm going to let y'all go, but tune in next week. Like I said, my birthday's Tuesday. If you want to send me a birthday greetings, I do appreciate it. And of course, yeah, the PayPal's always fun too. I do check the PayPal once in a while, see if anything showed up. A couple things showed up a couple days. Oh, and people, I wish I could write back to each one and every one of you, because it's like someone said, usually you'll say happy birthday, keep up the good work, that kind of a thing. And it means a lot to me, obviously, just like all of you out there right now that are supporting me. I know, and that it's really hard to do stuff like that without that kind of support. So I'm just really happy that I have got you guys. And if they want to call you a cult and call me a cult leader, whatever, but it is what it is. And we got to get to that from point A to point B one way or another, and it just I just don't have time for the BS. We gotta hurry up and get there. Those babies need us. Okay, so with that, again, I thank you so much for being with us, especially all of you that stuck around for the full thing, and those of you that are listening on YouTube, please share the video and tell your friends. Okay, so I'll say good night, God bless, adios, and goodbye.